We are making our way towards the conclusion of the regular season. Game number 67 here tonight at Gas South Arena as the Atlanta Gladiators host the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We'll be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. Gladiators will look to get back into the win column after dropping their last two games. Lost 3-2 in a stunner last night against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Gladiators now sit in third in the division with a record of 42-21 at 2-1 with 87 points on the campaign. They trail the South Carolina Stingrays by 1 point for second in the division, which would give them home ice advantage in the first round. Speaking of the Stingrays, they are currently hosting the Swamp Rabbits. For the Gladiators, they are hoping that Florida loses today and that they can still win. Otherwise, if Florida gets one more point or if the Gladiators lose, they will secure a first-round date with the Stingrays. As for the Ghost Pirates, they are sitting at 500, 31 at 31 at 3-1 is the record. 66 points on the season has them sitting in fourth in the final playoff spot in the South. They are 6 points ahead of Greenville, who has 2 games in hand. This is game number 67 tonight for Savannah as well. Andrew, this is a big game for both sides. Gladiators coming off 2 back-to-back losses to Greenville need to find a way to win at home.
Yeah, as you said, Guy, big game for both teams here. Gladiators still trying to fight to secure that home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. And Savannah's just kind of clinging for dear life for that fourth place spot in the division, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive here tonight.
The Ghost Pirates winners by a 1-0 shutout from Vinny Purpura over the Swamp Rabbits on Tuesday. Sit at 3-7 in their last 10 games. They have not been good, and as you mentioned, Andrew, they have been clinging to that final spot in the South, which for a while everybody thought that they had locked up, but all of a sudden it is a race to the finish for that final spot in the South. As for the Gladiators, a bit of a characteristic game for them on some degree, but been uncharacteristic in another. Scoreless first period, we've seen that before. Second period surge, 2 goals from the Gladiators. That's nothing new. But the one oddity was the Gladiators led 2-1 after 2 periods of play, ended up losing in regulation. That was the first time this season that had it happen.
Yeah, it was a tough break for the Gladiators in that third period last night. And not for lack of trying. Put 15 shots on goal in that third period. Had a couple of grade A opportunities at the end of the game to try and tie it up late, but just not able to do it. I would love to see the Gladiators start a little bit better here tonight. Only 3 shots on goal in the first period last night. I think Coach Ginn is really going to want his boys to get out to a better start tonight.
One of the bright spots for the Gladiators in that last game against Greenville, and really over the last couple of games, has been that youngster line with Kirkland Irie, Jack O'Brien, and Adam Isley. Isley had a night to remember, scoring his second pro goal. It shocked us here on Press Row, and we might be seeing that one on Plays of the Week.
Yeah, for a little bit of a lackluster night for the Gladiators offense last night, I thought that second line of Irie, O'Brien, and Isley was their best line by far last night. Felt like those guys are really starting to click now, which is really good for this team at this point in the season. Going into the playoffs, looks like you might have your second line for round 1.
And when we turn our attention to Savannah, this is a team that's been pesky against the Gladiators in the season series. This is the 9th meeting of the season between these two teams, and it's an even record, 4-4. The Gladiators against the Ghost Pirates. The key for the Gladiators, though, as you mentioned, Andrew, is getting off to a good start. Last night, sleepy first period, just 3 shots on goal.
Yeah, it was a really tough start for the Gladiators. It felt like Greenville really just kind of came out with a lot more juice than Atlanta did last night, and they really took advantage of it in the first period. But props to Ethan Hyder. He kept his team in it after that first period. As you said, we got that second period surge, and then it was just a tough break for the Gladiators in the third. First regulation loss after leading after 2 periods last night. Look to them. Hopefully, if they can get a lead going into the third tonight, they can get back to what they've been doing all year, lock it up.
And for the Ghost Pirates, this is a hungry team. They have not clinched yet, and they're looking to clinch their first playoff berth in franchise history. You know they're going to come out with a little bit more swagger here tonight than in games past in the season series. This is a rivalry, the Battle of Georgia, where these two teams do not like each other at all. And that was apparent in the last meeting between these two when Riley Appelt got into it with Logan Drevich. I'm expecting some fireworks early here tonight, Andrew. The Gladiators look to play with some jam, as Matt Ginn might say, here against a divisional opponent that has a lot to play for.
Yeah, and we almost saw a little bit of fireworks and warm-ups just a couple of minutes ago. A little meeting of the minds at center ice from both sides at warm-up. So expect, as you said, some fireworks here early in this first period, as Savannah is not too happy with Riley Appelt, and the Gladiators are certainly going to defend their guy.
So Savannah has a 6-point lead over Greenville for the final playoff spot in the South. For the Gladiators, they do have a game in hand on the Stingrays, who are playing here tonight. So entering the evening, Atlanta still has 6 games left on its schedule. South Carolina has 5. And so this Gladiators team needs these points badly because you need first home ice advantage in the first round, especially against a Stingrays team that they've struggled against at North Charleston Coliseum.
Yeah, we've talked about it all year, how just good this Gladiators team has been at home. And we've talked about the last couple of nights. If you end up getting that first-round matchup with Savannah, which it looks like you're going to, I'd say probably a 90% chance you end up playing, or South Carolina, excuse me, 90% chance you're probably going to end up playing South Carolina in that first round. You want those first game to be here in Gas South Arena, and if it ends up at a Game 7, you want that here in Gas South.
Last night it was Ethan Hyder who got the start for the Gladiators. Tonight will be TJ Semptimphelter. A lot to love about these two goalies for the Gladiators this season. Tonight it'll be Semptimphelter against Purpura, the netminder for Savannah. Semptimphelter has been able to handle the Ghost Pirates this season, but it'll be just the 3rd time he's seen Savannah here tonight. Thankfully for the Gladiators, they have gotten the better of Vinny Purpura, who was one of the catalysts that turned Savannah's season around. Purpura is just 1-1 in 2 games against the Gladiators with a 3.51 goals against average and an .877 save percentage. We'll see if either of these two goaltenders can lead their teams to victory, as it's the Gladiators and the Ghost Pirates here today in Duluth. Coming up next here on the pregame show is the game preview, brought to you by Shelby Rabideau, breaking this one down between Atlanta and Savannah.
Hi Gladiators fans, Shelby Rabideau here with tonight's pregame. Although the Gladiators fell to the Swamp Rabbits 3-2 last night, there was still some game highlights. Adam Isley got his 2nd goal of the season and only his 4th game as a Gladiator. He enters the zone and outmaneuvers Berg, setting up the perfect shot. He snipes and it hits the back of the net on the far side of Seville. Isley has been a force ever since he joined this team, and I spoke to head coach Matt Ginn about what he adds to this team.
Well, he's a shooter. He's a goal scorer. He's had 2. He's been robbed or missed on a handful of other opportunities. So he skates well. His details are good. He's good on the walls, and adds another scoring threat up front. And I've been impressed with him and Irie as well, too. I thought that line with O'Brien tonight was really good. They generated tons and tons of chances. Would have been nice to see a couple more fall, but they play the right way, and we're lucky to have them both.
Tonight, Atlanta hosts Hockey is for Everyone night, taking on the Ghost Pirates for the 9th time this season. The last time these two teams met was on March 22nd, where the Gladiators beat the Ghost Pirates 4-3. Tonight, both teams have a big game ahead of them, Savannah fighting for a spot in the playoffs, and the Gladiators trying to win back 2nd place in the division. Now the team needs to show up, return to their game, and play that Gladiators hockey we all know and love.
Thank you, Shelby. It's the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia. For the 9th time this season, it's the Gladiators and the Ghost Pirates. Coming up next, we'll have the starting lineups and the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda. But first, a word from our ECHL partners.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
It's the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia. The Atlanta Gladiators host the Savannah Ghost Pirates in game number 67 out of 72 as the regular season is making its way towards its conclusion. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Hockey, YouTube, and Peachtree Sports Network. Let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. Key number one is to win the hard areas. This is going to be a gritty and physical game. These two teams do not like each other at all, and Andrew and I are expecting there to be a lot of fireworks to begin thanks to this long season series that is currently in its 9th installment. Second key is to dictate the game. This is something that the Gladiators have struggled with as of late, particularly last night and Thursday night against Greenville, and really at times in the season series as well. Savannah is a speedy team. The Gladiators like to play with structure. They will look to play their structured style of game from the opening puck drop to the end. Finally, the third key is to play connected. The Gladiators seem a bit discombobulated of sorts over the last couple of games. Look to simplify their game here today and communicate on the ice as they look to get back in the win column and leapfrog South Carolina for second in the division. And those are your keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. Now your starting lineup for your Atlanta Gladiators. Starting at left defense is number 8, Ryan Conroy, standing at 5'9", 185. Native of Chester, Maryland, Alberta, has 4 goals and 10 assists for 14 points in 61 games. His starting D partner at right defense is number 2, Brendan Less, standing at 6'1", 181. Native of Kittleton, New Jersey, has 14 points in 51 games. Starting at left wing for Atlanta is number 20, Kirkland Irie, the rookie out of Bemidji State. 5'11", 185, native of Bismarck, North Dakota, has 1 assist in 5 games for the Gladiators this year. Starting at right wing for the Gladiators. Well, make that Jack O'Brien. Starting at center position is number 19, Jack O'Brien, standing at 6'1", 184. Native of Denver, Colorado, has 27 goals and 22 assists for 49 points in 56 games. And your starting right winger is number 21, Adam Isley, with 2 goals in 4 games. First-year pro out of Ohio State University. And your starting netminder is number 35, TJ Septemfelter, standing at 6'1", 190. Native of Marlton, New Jersey, is under contract with the Gladiators' AHL affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. In 32 games this season, Septemfelter has a 20-10 1-1 record, with a 2.18 goals against average, .921 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Your non-dressers for the Gladiators today, number 74, Dylan Carabia, number 14, Brett Bulmer, number 6, Andrew Jarvis, number 27, Mike McNamee, all out with injuries. Your healthy scratches today are number 11, Zach Yoder, number 7, Mickey Burns, and number 30, Colby Muse. Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. Equipment manager is Ben Ellis. Athletic trainer is Nick Nelson. For the Ghost Pirates, they will start number 36, Matt Koopman at left wing, with Liam Walsh running number 27 at center. At right wing, it is number 15, Nick Granowitz. At left defense, it'll be number 24, Will Rydell, with number 20, Keaton Pearson. In goal tonight for Savannah, it'll be number 33, Vinny Purpura. Ghost Pirates are led by head coach Jared Stahl and assistant coach Brendan Kotick. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We're joined by Shelby Rabideau as well as we get set for the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia. That'll conclude the pregame show here from Duluth. Coming up next is God Bless America and the National Anthem.
Brownie was the inaugural captain of the Gladiators in the first 3 seasons here in Gwinnett County, where he led the team to a Kelly Cup final appearance in his final season as a player in 2006. Today on April 4th, 4-4, with family, friends, and former teammates in attendance, we want to celebrate and acknowledge the only player who will ever wear the number 44, as it hangs proudly above us each night. On a night where we celebrate please rise for the singing of God Bless America, performed by Isabella Hartline. Please remain standing as Empower Junior ROTC honors our nation with the presentation of color. Please remain standing with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave men and women who served our country with the singing of the national anthem performed by Jonathan Hellbrown.
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia. For the 9th time this season, it is the Battle of Georgia, the Atlanta Gladiators and the Savannah Ghost Pirates, the rivalry that does not disappoint. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We are making our way towards the end of the regular season. This game big for both sides, game number 67 out of 72 for both. Andrew, the Gladiators have to get off to a better start here tonight than they did in the last 2 games. What are you looking for out of them off the opening face-off?
Yeah, I'm looking for them to play more in Savannah's end. Last night against Greenville, felt like they were defending way too much early on in that first period. I'd like to see the Gladiators get the puck below the dots, get in on the forecheck, force some turnovers, make it hard on this Savannah team who likes to play with a lot of speed and skill. Play your Gladiators hockey, very gritty. Get in on the forecheck, force some turnovers, score some goals.
Gladiators are wearing their blue jerseys with Gladiator gold numbers and trim. They will skate from right to left to begin. For the Ghost Pirates, they're wearing a white jersey with black numbers and neon green trim. They will skate from left to right. It is a four-man officiating crew here tonight, led by referees Ian Rapp, wearing number 47, and Nolan Kanizovic, wearing number 51. Linesmen are Shane Gustafson, wearing number 87, and Kyle Gaspari, wearing a fitting number 67. Jack O'Brien will meet Liam Walsh at center circle for the opening faceoff. Puck is down, we're underway. Savannah wins it in the 9th edition of the Battle of Georgia this year. Puck is shuffled to the far corner. Koopman gets a stick on it for Savannah. Puck is rotated to the near corner where Peterson drops down. Savannah hanging on out at the end wall, has it snatched away by O'Brien. He'll try and plug it up the ice to Irie. Quick exchange between those two, and they knock it to Conroy, who flings it to the neutral zone as Isley tries to skate into it. Pinball's off the stick and goes to Irie. Pass across the line is fished free by Walsh, and Savannah will possess once again. Fans, you can make your pick as to who you think is going to score the first goal for the Gladiators and factor in with the first assist. Head on over to our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, X, and of course on our YouTube live chat to cast your vote. First goal, first assist brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank and Pinnacle Promotions, respectively. Savannah from the high slot takes a shot. Susanna denied by Septemfelter. Rebound to Nychuk. He'll fling it to the neutral zone. Angles to Walter. He has some space. Backhand shot. He's robbed by Purpura. Does draw a penalty, though. Hooking's going to be the call. Gladiators to the power play, just 1:04 in.
Yeah, really good bounce there for Walter. Chad Nychuk just skies that puck out of the zone, takes a good hop right onto the stick of Isaac Walter, who's able to separate himself in on a breakaway, tries to make a move to the backhand, but a nice glove by Purpura reads it all the way. Good on Walter, drawing a penalty. Gladiators to an early power play here.
The Gladiators went 1 for 5 on the power play last night. Alex Young scored the PPG for Atlanta. It was his 9th of the season on the power play. This is a Gladiators power play that operates at 18.9%, 13th best in the ECHL. For Savannah, their penalty kill, one of the best in the league, top 5 unit at 84.8%, 5th best out of 30. Gladiators win the faceoff. Nychuk at the right point. Goes it to the wall for O'Brien. Tries to scurry away from the pressure, sauces it a bit deeper. Out of the corner, Young puts it up to the left point, but nobody there. It was vacant. Nychuk has to collect it back in neutral ice. O'Brien enters along the left wing, tries to get around Susanna. Ghost Pirates defenseman is able to get a stick on it. Puck bounces and skips in the near corner and is turned over. At the line, Nychuk has it. Further down the wall to Sylvester. Back up top, Young, right wing, pass inside, deflected wide by Isley. Young gets it back along the right wing, tries to throw a no-look pass to Nychuk. That escapes the zone. Gladiators forced to regroup and re-enter. They'll pump it around the boards to the right wing wall where it's met by Sylvester. Puck seemingly on edge to start here today. Weather has been a bit warm here in Duluth. And as a result of that, the ice conditions may not be the best as Savannah gets a clear. Down to just 55 seconds on this power play, brought to you by Eco Electric. Walter from the right wing swirls it to the left. Irie stationed in the corner, reverses back to Walter at the right wing half wall. Immediately met by Grega, able to escape the heat. They find Conroy left wing, further down the circle to Irie. He'll shuffle it around the boards again to Walter at the right point. He'll sidestep and pump it to the end wall where he tried to find Irie. The rookie tries to skate into it in the near corner, but Savannah will clear. 25 seconds remain on this power play.
Yeah, nothing really going for Atlanta so far. You talked about it at the beginning of the power play. Very good penalty kill for Savannah here, and they're showing it right now.
It is the 5th best penalty kill on the road in the league. Walter between the circles shoots just wide on the near side. Helping keep the puck in at the left point is Conroy. Sidesteps around Koopman. Brushes down low, takes the return feed, and fires it through the slot. Nobody was there. Out of the box is Chukarov. Irie takes it in at the end wall and tries to center. Hits the side of the cage, and Savannah will escape unscathed. Koopman takes in a pass in the neutral zone, goes barreling down the right wing, makes his way to the corner where he's shoved into the boards by Conroy. That will divorce him from the puck. Evan Orr, the rookie out of Stonehill College, lobs it to the far wall. where Savannah continues to press. Puck will drift back to the near corner. Koopman tries to shoulder away Francis, who returns to the lineup after missing the last 2 games with an illness. Gladiators are able to take the puck away once more, or up to the right wing. Quick exchange back to the defenseman from Nolan. Francis in the area as well. Brodzinski keeps the Gladiators in their own zone, working with Tellier at the far half wall. Brodzinski on his backhand, weaves it around the boards to the right point for Savannah. Over to the left wing, reconnects with Brodzinski. Pass inside, hits a skate. Now a left wing shot is fought off by Semptimphelter. Hugging the far post, is able to get a whistle with 4:07 gone by. And afterwards, we see a bit of a skirmish. And we made it very clear during the pregame show in the open, these two teams do not like each other at all.
Nope. And we'll see when Riley Appelt gets his first shift here in this one. First game against Savannah since being suspended the last time these two teams met up in Savannah.
It was an incident in the last meeting between these two teams on March 22nd, a 4-3 win for the Gladiators that led to Riley Appelt being suspended. Knocked out Logan Drevich with just 1 punch. Was out of lineup for 3 games as a result of that. Returned on Thursday. He is yet to take the ice in this game. Face off to the right of Semptimphelter. O'Brien will take this for Atlanta against Tellier for Savannah. And off that draw, the Ghost Pirates power towards the goal. Semptimphelter kicks it away, and now the puck is loose on the far boards. Or will snag it. He'll wait behind Semptimphelter for a moment and pivot up the ice. Pass to the left wing is intercepted by Savannah at the point. Tries to fire it inside. Hits a stick as Drevich floats it through the slot. Gladiators will just punch it through center and a little bit more. Icing. 4:33 in.
Yeah, tough break there for the Gladiators. I thought it was a good play by Isley. He grabs that puck on the wall, and instead of just immediately trying to jam it out into the defenseman, he pulls it back a little bit, gives himself some space, and then chips that one out of the zone. But early on in this period, ice is still pretty fresh. That one slides all the way down for icing.
Face off to the right of Semptimphelter once more. This time it'll be Nicholas Zabinet to take it against Jack O'Brien. O'Brien having a monster season for the Gladiators. 27 goals, 22 assists, 49 points in 56 games. He become the 3rd Gladiator to reach the 50-point plateau with a point tonight. Tries to take in a pass down the right wing. It'll glance off his stick. He'll track it down in the far corner. Isley in the area as well, gets a stick on it, but working into open space is Zabinet. He's got some speed, and he showcases it here. Is stuffed on the entry at the Gladiators line. Here is Appelt into Savannah territory. Rips a shot. That's blocked by Savannah. Puck will go to Pearson. Appelt quickly meets him in the near corner. Savannah looks to outlet, and they do. Peter Laviolette down the right wing. Tries to charge towards the slot. Defended well by Orzek. Kept to the outside. Savannah jolts it to the left point. Long shot angled off the end wall to the right corner. Now from low to high, the puck will escape the zone as Will Rydell forced to hunt it down as Purpura slows it behind his own net. Shot count is 3-1 in favor of Savannah. No score, 5:41 in. Tristan Amonte takes it over center circle, chips it into the far corner. Laviolette in the area as well, loses it to Brendan Less. He will connect with Conroy, who scurries through neutral ice. He'll angle it off the stick of Sylvester and down the near side boards. Back to Conroy. He'll fling it to the right wing where waiting is Young. Alex Young, 1 point shy of 60 on the season, is the Gladiators' leading point scorer. Tries to take a feed from the neutral zone, but it did not go. Has to track it down to the trapezoid. Gladiators looking to press here on the forecheck, but Savannah will escape once more. Up the ice, down the middle they go. Nas left wing shot off the stick of Less and out of play. 13:32 left in the first. No score in the Battle of Georgia. Gladiators looking to get on the board when we come back.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Scoreless in Duluth, nothing new to these Gladiators. First period scoring really hasn't been their thing this year, which is why we've coined the phrase the second period surge. That was the story that we had last night. No score after 1. Gladiators led 2-1 after 2, eventually fell to Greenville by the final score of 3-2 as the Swamp Rabbits came back and won it in the third period. Still plenty of time left in this first period for the Gladiators to get on the board. The face-off to resume the action will be to the right of Semptimfelter. Joey Cipollone will take this draw against Ryan Sullivan. There's only been 1 penalty so far in this game. Gladiators 0 for 1 on the Eco-Electric power play. Last time these two teams met, the Gladiators tied a season high of 3 power play goals in a 4-3 win on March 22nd. Savannah with the puck. They look to center from the far corner. Gladiators box it away as a board battle ensues along the far corner. Puck leaks free to the left point. Nas slings it down low to the trapezoid looking for Brodzinski. Gladiators are able to pick that free. Jolt it to center. Conroy has some open space. He's going to beat out Nas to the puck. Charges into the near corner. Takes a check, but stays with the play. Puck is turned over. Cipollone shoots, and Purpura able to squeeze the wickets and keep that one out.
Yeah, really good forecheck by the Gladiators there. It's Ryan Conroy who chips that puck in, and he gets in on the forecheck, forces the turnover from Savannah. And the puck finds Joey Cipollone wide open in the slot. Good opportunity for him, but a nice save by Purpura.
And that shot hit a leg on the way, and for Purpura, just with a prayer, just kind of squeezes his legs together to hope that that puck doesn't go through. That was going 5-hole, and if he didn't, that would have been a goal. Face off on the near circle, won by Savannah. They will lob it to the neutral zone where it skips by Orr. Whacking at it is Gaudette. And he takes a big check in front of his own bench. And the Gladiators take offense to that. Rightfully so. Jack O'Brien hacking and whacking at the guy who threw that check, Peter Laviolette.
Yep, a lot of bad blood between these two teams, and it's rearing its head there. Big hit on Gaudette as he's hopping on the bench here now. Referees congregating at center ice, figuring out if we have any sort of penalties here.
And Cam Gaudette off to the Gladiators' locker room. We will monitor that situation, and hopefully he's all right. Meanwhile, Jack O'Brien is going to the penalty box. All this happening with 12:43 left in the first.
Yeah, looks like they're going to at least get O'Brien for the slash on Laviolette right after the hit on Gaudette. Now Laviolette making his way over to the box as well.
So it appears we could be going 4-on-4 here. But the first priority is the health of Cam Gaudette. Hopefully he is all right. That was a big-time check. A few feet away from the boards, right in front of his own bench. And thankfully it wasn't right on the bench. It was really along the corner glass, right where the bench ends. Otherwise, that could have been an even more dangerous hit than it already was. And so now our 4-man officiating crew will try and sort all this out. And we'll see if we end up going 4-on-4 here, and all indicators are pointing in that direction.
Yeah, looks like they got 2 minutes up for O'Brien, 2 minutes up for Laviolette.
So it could end up being some open ice to work with for both these two teams. And Andrew, unfortunately, I have to think that that might benefit Savannah more than it does Atlanta. We've seen it plenty of times in the season series. Savannah is the speedier team, and in times they have liked to beat the Gladiators around the edges.
Yeah, but to start this 4-on-4, they're sending out Nicholas Zabane, who's given the Gladiators fits all season with his mixture of speed and skill. Look for him here on this 4-on-4. Savannah's going to be trying to get him the puck.
Zabane, 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points in 8 games in the season series. Leads the Ghost Pirates in scoring against the Gladiators this year. For Atlanta, they will send out Isley, Irie, Nychuk, and they do get a 4th. At least they should. And on hops Nolan Orzek. So 4-on-4 action. Faced off to the right of Semptimphelter. No score with 12:43 left in the first. Gladiators take the defensive zone face-off and plug it into the corner. Off the wall is Orzek. Sends Isley into action. Gladiators playing keep away from the Ghost Pirates. Atlanta scurries out to center. Orzek leads the charge. Brushes it right wing for Isley. The rookie pulls up at the right point, slithers down the wall, trades it off to Nychuk, who centers for Isley, and his shot just goes wide. Now Orzek keeps the line, sauces left wing for Irie. Stutter step, gets tripped up. No penalty coming.
Referee had his hand up for a second there and then quickly put it down.
Quick chip play to the neutral zone. Isley has it speared off his stick by Zabane. He'll go around the net on his forehand. From the high slot, feeds it to the left point. Back across, Savannah drifting down the left wing, pulls about the point. Centers for Weeb. His shot high and wide. Now Conroy will collect the puck behind his own net. Both teams get fresh blood on.
What a chance for Adam Isley right out in front there. It was a great look by Chad Nychuk, finding Isley in some quiet space in the middle of the slot. Isley just maybe had a little too much time there, thought a little bit too much, and just puts it outside.
Picked up right where he left off last night. Meanwhile, Savannah comes right back in, and the Gladiators foil their plans on the entry. Conroy finds Walter streaking down the left wing. The Swede pulls up, drops it deeper. Ghost Pirates get a stick on it, with the slingshot themselves up ice. Young making it difficult, staying out on the forecheck as the Gladiators get another partial change in behind the scenes. Young peels back, 15 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Pass to the left wing, and now trying to go inside. It's a stick and stays around the perimeter. Board battle ensues along the far half wall, and that will conclude the 4-on-4. O'Brien and Laviolette both out of the box. Laviolette will go to the bench, and O'Brien will join the play. Savannah keeps the puck in the Gladiators zone, or from behind the net, sidesteps Koopman. Puck turned over in the high slot. Koopman right circle, dangles to the slot, and Semptimphelter is able to vacuum it up with 10:23 to play in the opening frame.
Yeah, nice read by Semptimphelter there. Koopman with a nice move to the outside. Little backhand pass to the slot there, but just a little too close to the net where Semptimphelter is able to poke that one and cover it.
Still a scoreless affair, and a sight for welcome eyes. Cam Gaudette back out onto the ice for the Gladiators. Only missed about 2 minutes of game time. Good to see. Conroy floats it to the neutral zone. It'll skip onto the tape of Carroll. Cipollone is able to flag that away from him. Spurred it deeper into Savannah ice. Ghost Pirates looking to fend off the forecheck of Carson Denemy, who's playing in his 300th professional game tonight. Granowitz pass to the slot. Kick save Semptimphelter. Puck behind the net. Now available in the near corner. Gladiators try and chip it out. Denemy gloves it down on the near side. Taking a couple of whacks at it. Savannah has it. Leaking in is Carroll for a shot. Semptimphelter turns that away. Puck available at the end wall. Denemy will just pin it up against the boards. Puck leaks free to Gaudette. Gladiators rainbow it to center once more. Shot count is 5-1 in favor of Savannah. A little bit of deja vu from last night against Greenville, where the Gladiators only had 3 shots at the end of the first. This game has a bit more pace to it. Ghost Pirates shuffle the puck into the near corner of the Gladiators zone. Nychuk behind the net, leaves it for Scardina. Rookie out of Bowling Green State. Looks to punch it out to the neutral zone. Kicked alive and held in by Zabanet. Turns it over to Riley Appelt. Feeling some pressure. Gets help from Gaudette. Gladiators with a couple of chip plays trying to clear, and they are able to muscle out to center. Doing a little bit more muscling is Scardina. Tried to barrel over the attacking line. Ghost Pirates stuffed that attempt, and the Gladiators return the favor. Appelt with it back. Glides through the neutral zone. Pumps it to the left wing in hopes of finding Scardina. The two rookies burrow their way in deep. Gladiators stay strong on the forecheck. Ghost Pirates able to slide out to the neutral zone as Grega drags it down the left wing. Shot goes high and wide of Semptimfelter. Momentum carries it to the near point. Kept alive by Laviolette. Finds Grega down low. Up top to Pearson. He'll hold and shoot. Hits a body, goes wide of Semptimfelter, and snatching the rebound is Walter. He'll stuff it along the near boards, where it's pulled in by Amonte. Pass to the slot. Pinballs to Pearson. He'll take it in the far corner. They'll stab it behind the net for a centering feed that's turned away by Semptimfelter. Hit the shot was Grega. Gladiators able to keep him out. Savannah continues to cycle around the Gladiator zone. Rydell has it hop off his stick at the blue line. Puck escapes to center, and the Gladiators are able to get a change. Fresh on is Orr. Feeling some contact. Draws a penalty as Sullivan took him down. Gladiators back to the Eco-Electric power play when we come back with 7:44 left in the first.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gladiators 2, the Eco-Electric power play for the second time tonight. Ryan Sullivan in the box for Savannah. Big shout out to everybody watching on our YouTube live stream and commenting in our YouTube chat. Got a couple of recurring characters in there. Good to see you all. Thank you for casting your vote as to who you think is going to score the first goal for the Gladiators. And if you guessed Cody Sylvester, that's not a bad guess. He has 6 first goals this season to lead the team, and he is out there on the ice right now on this Gladiators power play. Face off to the left of Purpura. O'Brien will take the draw against Walsh. O'Brien wins it, quick tap. Young holds, delays to the right point for Nychuk. To find Young again, left circle shot, blockered away by Purpura. Puck loose along the far half wall. A stick has broken, it belongs to Walsh. Puck leaks in front where it's snagged by Purpura. The whistle blows with 7:26 on the clock and 18 seconds gone by on the penalty.
Yeah, and Walsh wasn't too happy about that. He believes that his stick got slashed out of his hands by a Gladiator player. He throws the other half of the stick, but we stay 5-on-4 Atlanta here.
Sullivan in the box for tripping. Faceoff remains along the far wall. This time it's Young against Walsh. And a bit of a false start here. A little sticky fingers here from the linesman. I'm going to give a little bit of a stern talking to Walsh. And do it again. Young has won it out of the far corner. Goes around the net. Gets checked off it by Rydell. Ghost Pirates looking to clear, but Young staying with it. Able to snag it back. Isley to the right point for Nychuk. Now at the circle, it's O'Brien. Back to the line, Nychuk scans, finds Young left circle. He'll hold and shoot. Shot goes to the slot and is swiped away by Purpura and cleared. Sylvester right there in his grill. Gladiators come right back in on the left wing. Nychuk from the left circle, centers. O'Brien shoots, and that goes over the head of Purpura and stays in thanks to the hard work of Isley. Puck is jammed up to the line. Isley holds. He will shoot. That floats wide and stays in play. Sylvester has it from the right wing. Threads it across to O'Brien. He'll ladle it to the top of the circle in hopes of finding Isley, but Ghost Pirates sniff that out, and they will clear.
Yeah, a couple of good opportunities for the Gladiators, getting in on the slot there. Good screen out front by Cody Sylvester, and then Adam Isley setting himself up nicely in the slot, but a nice block by the Savannah defender.
Second power play unit comes on. Walter out of the far corner, flings it to the near. Conroy is there, has some space to work with, puts it to the line. Less delays. Walter, a shot over the head of Purpura. Momentum carries the puck to the line. Gladiators keep it in. Extra effort from Savannah, and they will clear. Just 10 seconds left on this Gladiator power play. Koopman will close the rest of this off as he hems the Gladiators in their own zone, and out of the box is Sullivan. Meanwhile, Walter drops a pass to Conroy on the left wing. Puck is gathered by Carroll, and with 5:33 left in the first, here comes Weeb. The Ducks prospect goes behind the net, loses a touch on the puck, is able to poke it to Drevich, who waits in the trapezoid. Time and space quickly evaporates as Cipollone gets to him. Ghost Pirates able to escape that heat as Sullivan climbs to the top of the right circle. Sauces it deeper to Drevich. He'll go behind the net and center, where it's picked clean by Conroy. He'll clank it off the near side glass for Irie. He'll gain the neutral zone, look to go wing to wing. Pass escapes the batting attempt from Walter. Looks like he's going to have to hit the cages. Brave season has started. Off to a good start this year. Gladiators are going to take a page out of that book. Meanwhile, Walsh in deep. He will center. Quick touch to the line. Chukarov a try. Pinballs wide of Septemfelter. Available behind the net. Gaudette's able to tap it off the near side boards. Francis surges to the neutral zone, and away he goes. Over the attacking line. They fish it to the right wing for Orr. He'll drop it behind the net, where it's collected by Pearson. Clearing attempt tilted at the right point, or a shot into the glove of Purpura with 4:27 on the clock in the first. Still no score in Duluth. Scoreless period, but not a sleepy one. Plenty of action. Stay with us after the break here at Gas South Arena.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Here at Gas South Arena, we have no score with 4:27 left in the first. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We'll be joined by Shelby Rabideau tonight as well. Andrew, no score. We're in the same situation that we were last night, but tonight feels a little bit different. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, 2 power plays early here for the Gladiators. Thought they generated a couple of pretty decent opportunities for themselves there, but Purpura has been pretty good for Savannah so far tonight. 5 saves already in this first period. Would like to see the Gladiators keep pushing on the offense. Feel like they've done a pretty good job in their own zone. Still, Septemfelter's made some nice saves.
And I don't say this lightly, but it does feel like this game has a playoff-type atmosphere to it. There's so much on the line for both of these two teams. We've talked about it earlier in the game. We'll talk about it more as the night goes on. But this is a big-time game for both these two. Game 67 out of 72. Regular season reaching its conclusion, including this game. Just 6 games left in the regular season for both teams. Savannah starts from their own end. They'll outlet to the line. Gladiators keep it in. Good effort by Orzek. As Francis along the right wing, they'll pull up and burrow the puck deeper. They'll slide it to the near corner where activating to pinch is Nychuk. In that area as well is Denemy, playing in his 142nd consecutive game. He is the Gladiators' Iron Man. Takes a couple stabs at it, gets it to the right wing. Orzek shoots, and a glove save by Purpura. Keeps it out. Stays in play. Cipollone spinning in the near corner, sets up Denemy for a try. That whistles wide, held in alive at the line. Nolan from the right wing scans the interior, finds Orzek, quick chip to Nychuk, running out of space, ends up losing it to Rydell. Puck is swatted into the air, stays in play in the neutral zone. 3:25 left in the first. Nolan from the left wing tries to cut inside. Those Pirates box him out. Puck is left for Scardina. He'll charge around the net. From the right circle, a backhand try is blocked in front by Carroll. He'll take it out to center. Find Amonte right wing. He will toe drag, shoot, stick save Septenfelter. Puck rumbles to the goal line. Gladiators fish it free. Appelt tries to power out. Held in by Grega. They'll swerve the puck from corner to corner for Amonte. Conroy shrugs him off the puck. Les is able to scoop it free. He will try and nick it to the neutral zone. Feels a bit of pressure. Now elects to find Conroy behind the net. Gladiators looking to outlet. Having some difficulty, though. Ghost Pirates stay aggressive on the forecheck. Down to 2:35 left in period one. Conroy skates out to center now. Savannah peels off to get a change in. Quick trade off to Isley. He will shoot. Stick save made by Purpura. Isley took 6 shots on goal in last night's game. Ended up scoring his second pro goal. Stays aggressive on the forecheck here. Almost forces a turnover. Savannah is able to jump the puck out to centers. They send Zabanet on the run. From the left corner, looks to center. Good active stick from Orr, keeps it to the perimeter. Now Drevich from the right wing. Cuts to the high slot. Tries to feather it left wing, but the pass too far ahead for Chukarov. Those Pirates will stash it into the near corner. Zabanet grabs it. Tries to split 2 defenders, but Gaudette is able to stand him up. Now Irie scurries out to center. On the fly with O'Brien. Couple of give-and-goes, and they make their way to the end wall. Bodies collide there. Gladiators stay with the puck. Leaks beneath the near circle. Irie's got it. Pumps it up high for a blast. And that is absorbed by Purpura with 1:35 to play in the opening frame.
Nice work by the second line for the Gladiators. They get it on the forecheck there. Able to force a turnover. O'Brien and Irie working in tandem there. Get it up top to Orr for the one-timer from the point, but Purpura fighting his way through a screen, able to make that save.
Shot count now 7-6 in favor of the Gladiators. Andrew, if my memory serves correctly, it was 6-1 at one point for the Ghost Pirates. The last 6 shots of this game have belonged to the Gladiators. And it seems like even though they didn't score on that second power play, got a little bit of momentum from it.
Yeah, they definitely did it. They moved the puck really well on that power play. As you said, able to gain a little bit of momentum from it, it seems.
Gladiators try and dart behind the net. Savannah having none of it. Just hurls it out to center. Sylvester at center circle, wheels it back to Nychuk. From his own end, reconnects with the captain. Slingshots Orzek up the ice. Finds Walter right wing, passing to the slot. It'll go to the netminder. Gloved up by Purpura with 1:13 on the clock. And this is a line that has been pretty common for the Gladiators this season, Andrew. Sylvester, Young, and Walter. And it really feels like, despite Alex Young having a great season, Gladiators looking for a little bit more out of Sylvester and Walter here down the stretch.
Yeah, those two guys maybe slumping a little bit right now, but you put a guy like Alex Young in between them, really good distributor of the puck. Hope to get those two guys going into the playoffs.
Young with a goal last night. Now has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 5. 3 goals and 3 assists in 8 games in the season series against Savannah. He will take this faceoff to the left of Purpura. And he does win it. Orzek at the right point. Drifts towards his left. Overskates the puck. It leaks out of the zone. Delayed offside on the Gladiators, and they're forced to roll back. 1 minute left in period one. Granowitz turns it over at center circle to Sylvester. He'll feed it right wing for Walter, and away he goes. He'll shoot, and backpedaling into his crease. Save is made by Purpura. Oh, dangerous there for the Savannah netminder. Almost just ended up going back into his own net. That might have counted.
Yeah, good opportunity there for the Gladiators. Isaac Walter able to pick up a loose puck on the wall there, skating 2-on-1 with Cody Sylvester. Puts a shot on net there, looking for a rebound for Sylvester to cash in on, but nice job by Perper again, making that first save and not giving up any rebounds.
Coming up next year at the end of the first period, we'll have the first intermission report. Andrew will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to recap the first period, look ahead to the second, talk about potential playoff scenarios, and a whole lot more. All that coming up on the first intermission report. Denemy will take this draw against Tellier to the left of Purpura. Last time these two teams played in this building, it was a barn burner, 7-4 final score. Puck is lobbed to the neutral zone. Tonight, not trending in that direction, although you never know. Cipollone finds Les back in his own end. He'll peel away from the forecheck. Gladiators chip it to center. Puck will bounce by Denemy, snagged by Drevich. Savannah's captain clanks it off the near side glass. Conroy will haul it in. 20 seconds to play in period one. Francis offside, 17 seconds to go. And so if this score ends up holding after one, it will be the 18th time the Gladiators have been a part of a first period that has ended scoreless. And I'm trying my best to throw that old announcer's jinx in there and get these Gladiators a goal for the end of period one. Neutral zone face-off. O'Brien loses it to Sullivan. Maybe one last gasp for Savannah here. Puck will glance off a stick and go into the near corner. Grabbed by Gaudette. He will lift it out. Glove down by Cezanna. Spurted back to the Gladiators' defense. And the first period has come to a close. No score after one. Deja vu, it seems. This first period had a bit more pace than the last, but all things considered, the result remains the same. Ghost Pirates and Gladiators scoreless after one. Atlanta leads the shot count, though, 8-7. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau after the break for the first intermission report. They'll break down the first period, look ahead to the second, talk some shop here on a Saturday night as we get closer to the end of the regular season. All that coming up on the other side. Gladiators and Ghost Pirates scoreless in Duluth.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in that first period. But once again, we are scoreless here in Duluth. The Gladiators have 8 shots on goal, and the Savannah Ghost Pirates have 7. So a little bit of a different pace here versus last night, Andrew. But again, as Guy said at the end of the first period, that this is the 18th time the Gladiators have been a part of a scoreless first period, and the 35th time the Gladiators have not scored in a first period.
Yeah, it seems like this is kind of becoming a little status quo for the team at this point in the season. But I thought they had a much better first period tonight than they did last night. Obviously, leading in the shot count 8-7 right now. At the end of the first period last night, they were down in the shot count 12-3. So overall, I thought it was a much better first period for the Gladiators tonight than last night.
What did you see exactly that you thought was better that they improved on from last night?
Yeah, I thought they did a better job of getting pucks to the net. You know, they were able to play more below the dots. didn't play as much in their own end, which it felt like in the first period last night they were doing a lot more defending than they should have been. I thought they did much better pushing the offense in this first period. Obviously, they had the 2 power play opportunities in this first period here already tonight, not able to cash in on either of those, but I thought they generated some pretty good opportunities from those power plays. Adam Isley feels like we've been talking about him a bunch these last couple of games, how good he's been for this team in his first couple of games. He had 2 or 3 really nice opportunities in that first period, so looks like things are trending in the right direction for this team.
And I have to ask you, you mentioned the specialty teams there, and the Gladiators had a few chances on a power play, but I found out that Savannah is 5th in the league for their penalty kill. Do you believe that that had any reason why the Gladiators couldn't get anything generated behind the net or in the net, I should say, for those power plays?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Savannah has the 5th ranked penalty kill in the league. They're very good on the penalty kill, and we saw that on this first couple of power plays for the Gladiators. I thought Savannah, besides the couple of opportunities that they did give up, I thought they did a pretty good job of denying zone entries for the Gladiators. They had a lot of trouble getting over the blue line and having possession into the zone. Savannah did a really good job of standing them up at the blue line and either forcing a dump in or forcing a turnover at the blue line and getting it clear.
Now, it's an important game for both of these teams. Savannah, fighting for that 4th spot in the league to make it into the Kelly Cup playoffs. And, it's kind of a game of who wants it more, in a sense of Gladiators fighting for home ice advantage. Unfortunately, South Carolina took that 2nd spot in the division after their win last night and our loss. So what can the Gladiators do here in this game to make it back into that 2nd place?
Yeah, well, it looks like they're not getting much help tonight. Looks like South Carolina is up 4-2 on Greenville right now towards the end of the second period there. So Gladiators going to need to find a way to win tonight to try and keep pace with South Carolina, who's doing a lot of winning lately, and you don't want to allow them to run away with that 2nd spot in the division. So you got to find a way to dig deep here in these next 2 periods and try and pull out 2 points to keep pace with South Carolina.
And as you know, I always like to ask you fun questions. Right now, it's my favorite game to play, and that's who do you think is going to get the first goal? And you can feel free to answer it right now.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead with the hot hand, Adam Isley.
Okay.
I love that second line that they've put together recently with himself, Kirkland Irie, and Jack O'Brien. I thought they had a really good first period. They've had a really good night last night. Thought they generated a lot of good chances. You spoke to Coach Ginn about that. He had some nice words to say about that line. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Adam Isley. He's been hot. Like to see him put another one in.
Yeah, I think my pick's going to be Jack O'Brien. He just got ECHL Player of the Week last week, so he's been doing an amazing job here with the Gladiators. And I want to see what everyone's saying in the chat so far tonight.
Yeah, let's see what we have in the chat. Justin Burke going with Cody Sylvester. Daniel saying Riley Appelt. Let's see. Got another one for Sylvester from J-Bug with an assist from Isley. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
Throwing in those assists.
Yeah.
Andrew, you got a pick for who you think is going to get that game assist?
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with Jack O'Brien. Himself and Isley playing together on that second line. Feels like they've really started picking up some chemistry playing together. The more time you play with a guy, obviously the more chemistry you're able to build with them. And it seems like that's exactly what's going on for that line of Irie, Isley, and O'Brien. They've all been really good together in these last couple of games, and as you said, it seems like they're just really figuring out the chemistry.
Yeah, and if I had to pick an assist, I'm going to go with, the tried and true Chad Nychuk.
Okay, yep.
I feel like he's always on that sheet when it comes to assists.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I believe,
he's always racking up the assist column.
He might be the 3rd in the league for assists. And I can't remember. I've looked at it in the ECHL packet, but I don't know off the top of my head if it's 3rd or the 2nd.
Well, no matter what place he's in, Chad Nychuk, he's just been such a good distributor of the puck all season. He really leads this Gladiators offense from the back end just with his skating ability and his puck-moving ability. It's been so much fun to watch him this year, where he really just kind of leads that Gladiators defense core. He's been a real constant for them on defense all season long, just kind of holding down that first pair on the left side. So he's just been so good for this team all season, whether it's moving the puck up the ice, contributing offensively, or just playing defense, as his position name is, playing defense. I mean, he plays in every single situation for this team. Power play, 5-on-5, penalty kill. It feels like every time the Gladiators are in an important junction of the game, Chad Nychuk is back there lining up at left defense. So he's just been such a huge asset for this team. And we saw how sorely missed he was the other night in the 4-0 loss to Greenville on Thursday night. Obviously, Nychuk did not play that night. He was out with an injury, got back in last night, and we saw that the Gladiators played a much better second and third period last night with him in the lineup.
And speaking of different players, I want to ask you if there's anyone that stood out to you despite the people that you picked for first goal, first assist, or any lines that you think will be an asset when it comes to the second period tonight.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw from the fourth line in that first period of Pelt, Scardina, and Nolan. Thought they did a really good job of sticking to their game. You know, their game, it's really forecheck based. You know, they're able to get the puck out of their zone cleanly, get over the red line, chip it in, go for a check, force turnovers. So I thought they did a really good job of that. Felt like Pelt had a couple of nice chances. Scardina had his legs moving, which that's his game. He's such a good skater, and we saw that in this first period. He really had the legs pumping, getting in on the forecheck, skating with the puck. So, and Ryan Nolan on that fourth line with them as well. You know, he had a very good night last Saturday night on Thrasher night, had a goal and an assist. So changing up his line mates a little bit here tonight. So like to see that line keep doing what they're doing.
All right, and now it's time for another question of the game. It is Hockey is for Everyone night here at Gas South Arena. So I have a question for Andrew and for the YouTube live chat, and that is, who is your favorite hockey player of all time? Let us know in the YouTube live chat, and we'll be discussing ours when we come back, and we'll be talking about what we want to see in that second period. Once again, it is scoreless here in Duluth, and we will see you after the break.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabdow here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down what we want to see in that second period. And once again, it is scoreless here in Duluth. The Gladiators have 8 shots on goal and the Savannah Ghost Pirates have 7. So a bit of a different turn after that first period from last night, but unfortunately still no score on the board for the Gladiators. So Andrew, before we headed to break, I asked everyone, since the theme of the night is Hockey's for Everyone, who their favorite player of all time is hockey-wise. So let us know in the YouTube live chat, and we'll get to that before we head back to a break. But first, let me hear from you, Andrew, what your thoughts are on what the Gladiators need to do when they come into the second period.
Yeah, I think they really need to just kind of build off what they were doing towards the end of the first period. Guy talked about a little bit towards the end of the period. At one point, the Gladiators were down in the shot count 6-1, and then they scrapped their way back to take a lead in shots 8-7 going into this first intermission. So would like to see them keep peppering the net. You know, I thought they did a pretty good job of getting in the lane and making it difficult for Purpura to see the puck coming in, but very good goalie that Purpura is, coming into this one with a record of 19-15, a 2.65 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. So pretty good stats for Purpura. He's coming into this game pretty hot. He's been the backbone of this Savannah team, and if they get into the playoffs, Purpura is going to be a really big reason for that. So Gladiators got to keep just getting to the net, make it difficult for him, get in his kitchen a little bit, as I like to say. Just make it difficult for the goaltender, Purpura, to make those saves, try and force some rebounds, just keep crashing the net.
All right, and I want to bring up the keys to the game. So one of the keys to the game was win the hard areas, and do you feel that the Gladiators did that enough in this first period, or is that something they need to work on when it comes to kind of keeping up the momentum and improving their game in this second period?
Yeah, you know, I'd say so for that first period. I thought Savannah did a really good job on the forecheck. They forced a couple of turnovers in the Gladiators' end. They were really aggressive on the forecheck. But if you can force Savannah to be too aggressive on the forecheck and take advantage of that, you know, the way Savannah plays, it's a little bit of what you call riverboat hockey. You know, they're kind of gamblers on the ice. They push the offense really hard, and sometimes that gets them caught and allows the Gladiators to counterattack if they can survive the initial chance from Savannah. So if you can take advantage of the aggressiveness of Savannah and use that in your favor, it's going to be huge for this team. So I'd like to see the Gladiators take advantage of that for the rest of this game.
And is there anything else they can do besides scoring a goal to continue to keep up their momentum for this game and hopefully secure a win so they can continue to compete with South Carolina?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are a couple of different ways that you can build momentum. I think being good on the forecheck and having a couple of good shifts in Savannah's end can kind of force the momentum in your direction. You know, a couple big hits in the zone, you know, get this crowd in here fired up. You know, the crowd's a huge part of momentum for any team, and obviously we have such a great crowd here at Gas South Arena that they're just they play a part in this game. You know, the players feed off the energy from the crowd. We've heard that from multiple players this season, that when it's loud and rowdy in here, that they feed off that, and you know, it kind of fuels their performance a little bit. So if you can make some plays to get this crowd going a little bit, I think it's going to play very well for the Gladiators.
If the crowds got jammed, then the players got jammed.
Exactly.
So hopefully we see more of jam from everyone in that second period. And, you know, Andrew, it's time for you to answer that hard-hitting question. Who is your favorite hockey player of all time, dead or alive? It doesn't matter.
Okay. So if you've been listening to us all season, you know I've talked a little bit about how I'm from Massachusetts. I'm a big fan of the Boston Bruins. So I'm going to have to go with Bruin David Pastrnak.
Okay.
Pastrnak, point leader for the Bruins these last couple of seasons. He's just been such a fun player to watch. The way he can move the puck and put it in places where you don't really expect. He's a very good passer. He's a very sneaky passer. And when he shoots the puck, it's a whole nother level. You know, they line him up for those one-timers on the power play, and he's got a great shot. So he's just a very fun player to watch. Very nifty, very crafty, and he can mix it up a little bit physically too when he wants to. So I'm going to go David Pastrnak for my Boston Bruins.
And, you know, I kind of want to counter that. I kind of want to ask you who your most hated player is.
Okay, you answer and I'll think on that.
Wait, my most hated player? Or my
No, you answer your favorite and I'll think on.
I think if you've been watching, you know, the live stream at all, my favorite player is Patrick Kane. That's the player that really got me into hockey back in high school. And it was so funny. I kind of was scrolling on like my archive Instagram post, and I showed you, Andrew, for my senior photos, I actually took a picture in my Patrick Kane jersey. And I just think that's really comical because, you know, most people played sports in high school, so they wore their jerseys. And then there's me. I'm like, actually, I'm going to wear my Patrick Kane jersey, but yeah, it's just, he has a special place in my heart because that's who got me into hockey. But if I were to say someone who I really enjoy watching now, it's Macklin Celebrini on the San Jose Sharks. I'm really enjoying his play right now, and that's mine.
Yeah, man, has that guy been good this year for San Jose?
It was good watching him in the Olympics, too. It was cool to see him paired up with Sidney Crosby and then Nathan McKinnon. Yeah,
you know, Celebrini, he's been so good. Such a young kid, I believe still only 19, which is just absolutely insane for me being a 22-year-old and watching a 19-year-old just absolutely tear it up at the NHL level. It's just so awesome to watch just how good he's been at this young age. I mean, if he's able to get to kind of will that San Jose team into the playoffs, I think he deserves the Hart Trophy for MVP. He's been so good for that team this season. It's been so much fun to watch him.
Yeah. And do you have a hated player, or
you know
do you want to just throw it to the chat?
Let's see what we got in the chat here.
You're like, maybe I shouldn't share that.
Peach Fuzz going with Mario Lemieux, a little bit of a throwback. Like to see that. Daniel Johan Hedberg, former Thrasher, we talked about on Thrasher Night a little bit. And Stadium Arena's favorite Ottawa Senators players, Dylan Cousins, Thomas Chabot, Drake Batherson, and Mark Stone. A couple of big Ottawa Senators there, and then he's also coming with Stan Bakita, Bobby Hull from the Blackhawks. So he's going with some current and some past. I like the range from Stadium Arena there.
Good picks.
Yeah.
Do you have? Are you going to share?
Yeah, you know what?
I want to know so bad now.
I've been racking my brains so much. You know what? I'll have to go with, because when I really started watching hockey, the Boston-Montreal rivalry was so big.
Okay.
And PK Subban on Montreal was just he's such an electric player that it's not that I hate him. I hated playing against him
because
he was such a good defender, and his shot from the point was absolute. It was an absolute missile from the point whenever the puck came off his stick. And he's just such an eccentric player. He's a player you really want to root for, but a guy that I can't root for because obviously he played in Montreal and I was a huge Boston fan.
It was the same thing with me with like Sidney Crosby. Like whenever my team played them, I was like, oh, I hate this guy. But then it's like now it's like I don't have such a stake in the game as much. Where I'm like, actually, like he's one of the greatest players of all time, actually. So I see your vision, and I respect that answer. And it looks like the Gladiators are heading back here onto the ice. And once again, scoreless here at Gas South Arena. And Guy will be joining Andrew after the break for that second period.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We are set for second period action at Gas South Arena. The Gladiators will look to surge in the second period, as we've seen them do time and time again this season after a scoreless first period here in Duluth. Here are the numbers for you after one period of play. No goals on the board, but the Gladiators do lead the shot count 8-7. It is the 18th time the Gladiators have been a part of a first period that had no goals on either side. It is the 35th time out of 67 games that the Gladiators have not scored a first period goal. But the good news, Andrew, we've talked about it plenty of times this season. The second period is the Gladiators' best scoring period, and typically when they score in the second period, they do it more than once. The Gladiators have scored 2 or more goals in the second period 22 times, and they did it last night. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, along with Shelby Rabideau as well. Second period is underway. Gladiators win the opening draw of period 2. Ghost Pirates take it in behind their own net. They'll sling it up the ice. From the right wing, check on Granowitz. Dislodges him from the puck. Gladiators take it from the deep end. Turnover in the slot. Shot by Koopman. Turned away by Semptimphelter. Boy, it looked like Conroy got tied up between two Ghost Pirates, leading to that scoring chance. Savannah holds the zone along the left wing. From behind the net, it is Walsh. Taking the puck away is Conroy. Good stick lift there. Gladiators able to get out to center. As powering down the left wing is O'Brien. Tries to shimmy by Pearson. It's pinned up along the corner. Irie picks the puck free and centers for Isley. Trades it off to the line. Right point is Orzek. Knifes his way to the circle for a shot, and that is snared out of the air by the glove of Purpura. 59 seconds into period 2.
Yeah, Gladiators coming out to the start of the second period. Still trying to get in the kitchen of Purpura, make it difficult for him to make those first saves. But Keaton Pearson for Savannah doing a really nice job there. The defenseman boxing out Jack O'Brien out front, allowing Purpura to make the easy save.
And the Gladiators are playoff bound. They've clinched since 2 weeks ago. And it's interesting. This is a team that doesn't average 3 goals for per game, 2.89. That's 18th in the league, and yet they're playoff bound because of their strong defensive structure and their excellent goaltending. Orzek at the right point. Tries to get around Drevich. Ends up turning it over. Puck leaks into Gladiator territory, and Young is there to rescue it. Returns it to Orzek. Fires left wing. Nychuk on the run. Toe drag. Shot is blocked by Cezana. Puck leaks to Orzek. His shot turned away. And Drevich will handle on the near side boards. He'll chuck it up the ice. Down the middle is Wee. Brushing right wing. And a great active stick by Young. Swipes it away from Cezana at the last second. The defenseman does catch up to it in the near corner. Nychuk able to shake him down. Gladiators trying to rip the puck out to center, and they do. Young will bat at it. Walter flings it towards the net. They'll head off for a line change. As on comes Carson Denemy and this Gladiators third line. Denemy with Cipollone and Francis. That's another one of those trios that we've seen oftentimes together this year. Down the left wing is Brodzinski. Backdoor for a chance was Tellier. And Septenfelter makes another dandy of a save. Cipollone snags the rebound. Grinds into Savannah ice. Pelts it to the trapezoid. Those Pirates quickly shuffle it away. From the near side to the far, Brodzinski's pass away from Tellier. The forward for Savannah is able to get one last piece of it to send it to the end wall. Evan Orr skates out of pressure. Activating from the line is Nas. Gladiators are able to escape his pressure and lift it into the near corner. Carroll retrieves behind the net. Orr stays on the forward check to poke the puck deeper into Savannah territory. Gladiators center, Appelt with a shot save made, the rebound sent over the goal. Snatching it is Nolan. Able to get away from Carroll. Appelt left wing shot off the crossbar, and it stays out. Now from the left wing it is Conroy, tacking it to the end wall. Appelt with a series of great chances on this shift. He's not done yet. Bulldozing his way into the near corner, sets up a centering feed from Scardina to Nolan, kicked out by Purpura. This fourth line putting together an excellent shift. Ghost Pirates forced to dump the puck in, and they ice it. 3:25 into the second.
You just said it, Guy. What a shift by that fourth line here for Atlanta. Riley Appelt inches away from giving the Gladiators the lead, picking his spot, going short side over the glove of Purpura, but it just hits the crossbar. Great opportunity for Appelt.
And in the eyes of the Savannah Ghost Pirates, that is public enemy number one. Oh boy, would it have been nice to see Riley tuck that one in. Gonna have to wait for another time. He is off to the bench. Face-off will be to the right of Purpura. As on comes the second line of O'Brien, Irie, and Isley. The fountain of youth line, it seems. As they win the face-off, Isley a shot save. The rebound picked away by Purpura as well, denying O'Brien beneath the left circle. This line continues to stay on the job as Irie digs forward at the end wall. Tries to slink away. Sullivan to Carroll. Jumbled to the far wall, and they smack it up but not out. Conroy holds. Isley from low to high. Less to the right circle for a drive. And Purpura denies Irie from the right circle.
Two really good shifts by the Gladiators back-to-back here. And it starts with their forecheck. They're getting it on pucks, and they're forcing turnovers from Savannah. They're making it really hard for the Ghost Pirates to get out of their zone, and they're generating really good opportunities off of that. We saw it with that fourth line, Scardina, Nolan, and Appelt being able to force turnovers, and we just saw it with the kid line, as you coined, Guy, with Isley, O'Brien, and Irie.
Take a peek at the shot count as Sylvester tries to turn and shoot. Look at that in a moment. Orzek goes around the net on his forehand, puts it up top. Nychuk takes a shot. That floats into the near corner. Shot count now 16-9 in favor of the Gladiators. They've already doubled their shot count from the first period in the first 4 minutes of the second. Walter from the right wing steers it to the trapezoid. Gladiators looking to surge here in the middle frame and take the lead. Those Pirates aren't able to cast it out to center. Puck hops away from Laviolette. Orzek will field it. He'll go around his zone net. Laviolette staying with the play. Tries to shake him down. Young in the area. Spears it off a stick and out of play into the Savannah bench with 15:19 on the clock in the second.
Yeah, no, it's a really good forecheck by Savannah. Peter Laviolette getting in on the forecheck on Nolan Orzek there while his line mates were changing. Laviolette making it hard for Orzek to get that puck out of the zone. And it ends up going off Sylvester and out of play. And now Savannah's got an offensive zone face-off to the left of Septenfelter.
Let's talk about these two netminders for a second. Septenfelter and Purpura have both put on a show.
Yep.
This game could easily have been blown wide open to this point, but these two netminders have kept it a scoreless affair. And that's going to be delay of game on the Gladiators. Yep. Gaudette just ripped it out of play from his own zone, and Savannah's going to get its first power play of the night.
Yep, golf night was last night, but here tonight, Cam Gaudette picks the wrong club, a little too much loft, chips that one over the glass and out of play for delay of game.
And so this is the first time we see this Savannah power play. Gladiators to the Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda penalty kill. Gladiators did go 4 for 4 on the PK last night against Greenville. This penalty kill now operates at 81.8%, 14th best in the ECHL. This Savannah power play, though, not their bread and butter, 15.4%, 26 out of 30 in the ECHL. Face-off on the far circle. Won by Grega at the right point. Shot is blocked. Cipollone is able to shuffle it to center, where Savannah, who took that shot, will pull it back in. Over center circle, drops it back. Cipollone lurking in the vicinity. Breezing by him is Brodzinski. Contact at the Gladiators' blue line. Les goes down. Whistle blows.
Looks like it's going to be offsides here, but really surprised there's no interference call there, as Brendan Les got caught up with a Ghost Pirate at the blue line.
And Denemy trying to argue the case, but seemingly and fittingly, he's a better hockey player than he is a lure, it seems. And 19 seconds into this penalty kill, we'll see a neutral zone face-off here. Denemy playing in pro game number 300. Congratulations to him. At this point in his career, Carson Denemy has 40 goals and 76 assists for 116 points entering tonight's game. As Savannah wires a shot, it's turned away by Semptimfelter. Puck along the far side board. Cipollone pounds it to center and a little bit more. Gladiators get the clear, and they will get a line change in as well.
Yeah, nice setup by Savannah there. On that face-off, they're able to win it back and then slide it all the way over to Savannah, who is lined up right in front of his bench on the other side from the face-off dot.
Drop pass along the right wing, sets up a shot, saves Semptimfelter. Puck will go behind the net. Brodzinski, who took that shot, ladles it to the line. Now Weeb at the left point, makes his way to the circle, trades it off to the corner where Brodzinski floats it to the line. Snatched by Irie, he'll drag it out to center. Stick breaks for Tellier, and he throws it at Irie. That's gonna be a penalty.
I don't know what he's arguing about. He broke the stick and he just threw it at Irie, and he throws his hands up like he does nothing wrong. But clearly that's a penalty.
That might be the most avoidable penalty I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, you know, it's just more of a frustration penalty for Tellier there. He's forechecking Irie hard. His stick breaks, and just in frustration, he throws it. And unfortunately, it goes right at the puck carrier, Irie. If he threw it anywhere else, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But if you throw the broken stick at the puck carrier, you know, that's kind of grounds for interference.
So 4-on-4 for the second time tonight for 52 seconds, barring any changes. That is what we will be. 14:04 left in the second period. Open ice to work with for Cipollone, Francis, Conroy, and Les. Savannah wins the defensive zone draw. Rydell cast it to center. Quick touch to the inside. Here's Zabanet. Left circle shot. Saves Semptimfelter. Rebound to Cipollone, and he's got a lot of room to work with. From the right wing, cuts inside. Got around Drevich, but couldn't get a shot away. Gladiators retain possession. Conroy from the far corner soccers it up the boards. Gives it off to Francis. We'll leave it for Cipollone. Turn away from Rydell, trying to power down the wall. Rydell pins him up along the boards, takes him down, and Savannah goes up ice. No call there from the right point. Cuddling inside is Drevich. Drop pass to the goal. Puck hops off the stick of Zabanet. He'll head to the bench. Conroy will grab it. He'll make his way to center circle. Gladiators now on the power play as Gaudette is released. And he'll float a shot into the glove of Purpura. He will leave it so Savannah can clear. And the puck will sputter to Semptimfelter, and with Granowitz in the area, hangs on to it just long enough to get a whistle with 12:58 on the clock in the second.
Yeah, quick whistle from the referee there. Semptimfelter looked like he was trying to play that one. Granowitz bearing down on him pretty hard. It looked like forced Semptimfelter to fumble that puck a little bit right in the crease, but a quick whistle from the referee saves the turnover from Semptimfelter.
54 seconds left on this Gladiators power play with Tellier in the box. And Andrew, we talked about potential fireworks earlier in the game. I think we're starting to see that, and it's up to this officiating crew to really grab control of this game before it gets out of hand. As we have mentioned before, these two teams do not like each other one bit. Sylvester loses an edge behind his own net. See if Ben Ellis, the equipment manager, can get those sharpened.
Goal line got him.
We'll call it that, as O'Brien from the left wing cuts to the goal. Backhand shot just flutters wide. Isley has it from the right wing, ladles it to the line. Sylvester leaves it for Nychuk. Power play left down to 20 seconds. As Isley, right circle, he will shoot just wide on the far side, and momentum carries the puck all the way down to Semptimphelter.
Man, you can tell why Adam Isley scored 13 goals for Ohio State this year. This kid can shoot the puck.
Penalty expires. Out of the box is Tellier. Down the middle is Nychuk. He'll find Isley to the goal. Save made by the left toe of Purpura. Meanwhile, Nychuk down in the near corner, gets up to his feet. Puck played with a hand pass. And Nychuk is going to grimace on his way to the bench. We'll keep an eye on that, as it is still in the scoreless affair with 11:54 left in the second. This game getting chippy and feisty. More to come after the break.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
11:54 on the clock in period 2. No score here in Duluth. This game's starting to open up a little bit, Andrew. Getting more entertaining as it goes on.
Yeah, you know, these last couple of minutes, it feels like we've had really good opportunities on both ends of the ice. Gladiators on that last shift, really generating some offense towards the tail end of that power play.
Gladiators win a neutral zone face-off. They will lift it into Ghost Pirates territory. Bernaz will spin behind the net and turn up the ice. Over the red line, fire it to the left wing for Grega. Drop pass for a shot. That's blocked by Orr. Puck will slide around the horn to the right corner. Gladiators able to touch it up the ice. And dashing goes Orr. Thwarted on the zone entry. Grega comes barreling in. Rushes it to the right wing. Puck glances off a stick. He'll now put it to the trapezoid, where it's grabbed by Amante. These Pirates continue to work their way deep. Now from low to high, they connect with Carroll at the right point. A pass to the right circle for a shot. That gets blocked. Puck available in the far corner. Orr hits the deck. Puck stays in at the right point. Quick give and go to Zabanet. He'll spin away from Denemy. Slide down the right wing wall. Denemy catches up to him, takes the puck away, but Savannah subsequently gets it back. Jackson Weeb staying hard on it, shoves it to the left wing for Nas. Francis tries to spin the puck away from him, and a great play there. He's able to muscle it out to center. These Gladiators are able to get a partial change in. Stretch pass goes by Weeb. Beating out the icing is Drevich. Les is the stronger of the two, takes the puck away. It'll skip to the far corner. Drift free to Drevich. He'll toss it to the line for a shot. Kicked away by Semptimphelter. Now Drevich from the right circle. Swings it down low. Centering feed broken up by Walter. Puck is slammed to the near corner. Ghost Pirates cycle to the right points. Pearson across for Drevich. On his forehand, stuffs it deeper over the stick of Les. Behind the net is Weeb, riding up the near side boards. Move it across from the point. They'll delay to Rydell. Now a one-timer by Weeb. Gets deflected twice. He sputters into the far corner. Gladiators wrestle it through center. Walter tries to hustle to beat out an icing, but Pearson gets there first. This plays coming back to Gladiator Ice with 9:39 on the clock.
Yeah, Walter there using those big strides, trying to beat out that icing, but that puck just barely crosses over the goal line. And it's going to be icing on the Gladiators face-off, coming back in their zone.
This draw will be on the near circle to the right of Semptimfelter, who to this point has stopped 14 of 14. Purpura, 20 of 20. Last night we had to wait until 6:50 left in the second period to get the game's opening score. It belonged to Greenville's Tim Rigo. And so now we might have to start setting an over-under onto, is going to be over that mark or under that mark here tonight. Getting close to it. Here is Sylvester creating a turnover. Left circle shot, kick save Purpura, and he's able to dive on it and collect the puck with 9:29 to go in the middle frame. No score in Duluth. We'll see if that changes after this from our local partners.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Having some fun here on a Saturday night at Gas South Arena. 6 games left in the regular season, including this one for both sides. We're still looking for our first goal here tonight. Fans having fun in the building, though. Really a good atmosphere here at Gas South Arena. Feels like a playoff-like atmosphere, and Gladiators have punched their ticket to the postseason. And the question is who will they play? Glove save by Purpura off a face-off victory. Gladiators look to keep the zone, but Savannah is not going to let that happen. They'll enter on the right side. Ranowitz sends it down low into the near corner, and they'll cycle to the line. Savannah can't keep. Puck jumps over his stick. Appelt is trailing. Couldn't wrestle the puck away, though, as Savannah, the third-year pro, is able to escape. We'll just dispose of it into Gladiators territory. Now Nolan climbs up the right wing and chucks it to the left. Nobody there as it skips towards Savannah. 8:46 left in period 2. Les reels it in, back on his end of the ice. Savannah did play in a 1-0 contest on Tuesday, their last game, and so for the Ghost Pirates, the scoring well has run dry for them as well, though they did end up winning that game. Keaton Pearson scored the lone goal in the game winner against Greenville. Here's a turnover in the Ghost Pirates zone. Isley cuts inside and shoots. Gets high stick in the process. Delayed penalty here. Behind the net is O'Brien. Les from the far wall puts it up top. Nychuk feathers it inside. Isley holds. Drops it off for Nychuk. Puck taken away by Brodzinski. And now the Gladiators will go to the power play.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if it's 2 or 4. Referee made a quick signal there. I couldn't see if he put up 2 fingers or 4.
I didn't quite see it either.
But good job by Isley there. Cuts to the inside. And the stick of Chukarov riding up a little bit high there. It's only going to be 2 minutes for the Gladiators, but a power play nonetheless. Nice job by Isley. Cutting inside there and drawing that penalty.
So we'll see if this is the moment the Gladiators break through in this game. As it stands right now, Florida and Jacksonville are tied up at 1. If Florida gets a point or the Gladiators lose, Atlanta is secured into a first-round matchup with the Stingrays. Speaking of South Carolina, they lead Greenville 5-2 with 11:30 left in the third period there. This game, and now Semptimfelter Felt some contact as he tried to play the puck. No call there.
He got slew-footed.
I can't believe it. On the far wall, it's O'Brien, swiping it to the right wing for Young. Inside for Nychuk, right circle Sylvester. Trade it off to Young and get it back. Find Young at the right point once more, across to Nychuk. Now right circle, Young holds and shoots, blocked, pass across, doesn't mean O'Brien. Will speed into it, into the far corner. Young at the right point, ladles it inside, Nychuk from the high slot shoots. Off the stick of Granowitz and out of play.
Yeah, we've talked about how good the Savannah penalty kill is, and they're showing it right now. They did a really good job of keeping all of the Gladiators to the outside. When they try to get to inside ice, they do a good job of getting sticks on pucks, and the Gladiators eventually are able to work the puck up top to Nychuk. He looks for a shot from the point, and Savannah, again, getting a body in a lane, blocking that shot and chipping it out of play.
Watch out for Chad Nychuk here in this Gladiators power play. 17 power play assists this season. They get it to him here from the right point. Finds O'Brien, quick touch inside. Young to the goal, jab by Sylvester. Isley's there as well. Pass to Young, leaps over his stick between the circles. Now Young at the right point, holds and shoots. That is blocked. Rebound to Isley, drops it off. Nychuk shoots, and that goes wide. Hit a body on the way. He'll pinch along the left wing and look to keep the zone. The Ghost Pirates will clear. And here is Zabanet. Leads the league in shorthanded goals. Cuts to the net, draws a penalty. Gladiators dig the puck free, and that will be that.
Yeah, it's a tough break for Adam Isley there. Caught a little bit flat-footed as that puck got chipped out of the zone. And Zabanet, who can really fly, is able to grab that one in stride. Cutting to the net, and Isley, all he can really do is haul him down. And Zabanet is able to draw that penalty, and we're going to play some more 4-on-4.
For the third time tonight. And Nicholas Zabanet, you always got to watch out for number 41 for Savannah. Leads the league with 5 shorthanded goals. Tied for the league lead with 8 shorthanded points. 2 of those shorthanded goals have come against these Gladiators. And so they know a thing or two about how dangerous he is. And honestly, Andrew, might not have been the worst thing in the world to take that penalty there, considering the type of guy that was barreling towards Semptimphelter.
Yeah, exactly. You'd probably rather haul him down and take that penalty than give up a breakaway to one of Savannah's most dangerous players.
6:34 on the clock in the second. This game has officially been scoreless longer than last night's was. Nas plays catch across the line with Susanna. Takes the return feed. Drifts to the top of the left circle and shoots. That goes wide of the mark. Momentum carries the puck out to center. Jackson Weeb spins out of coverage from Cipolone. Passes left wing for Brodzinski. At the left point, pass across is intercepted. 2-0 for Atlanta. Cipolone to Walter. Stopped by Purpura. Unbelievable. Another penalty here. A stick shattered behind the play. I believe that belonged to Brodzinski for Savannah.
Yeah, it's going to be on Cipolone here for a slash. He's not too happy about the call, but what an opportunity for Cipolone and Walter. 2-0 during the 4-on-4. Cipolone fakes the shot and moves it over to Walter for the one-timer. But just an outstanding save by Purpura again, sliding over from left to right and making that save.
Oh, man, I know those two, Cipolone and Walter, looking up into the rafters after that one. How did that one not go?
And unfortunately now, Gladiators going to have to kill off a 5-on-3 for the next minute 23. Now I'm wondering if Savannah ended up taking a timeout. They were by the bench for a long time with the whiteboard out trying to draw something up.
Brendan Kotick, the assistant coach for Savannah, had that whiteboard out. Doesn't appear like a timeout was called, though. So 5:57 left in the second. You called it, Andrew. 5-on-3 power play for the Ghost Pirates. Gladiators get to their biggest test yet here in this Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill tonight. O'Brien, Les, and Nychuk on the ice for Atlanta. Savannah wins the draw at the right point. It's Rydell to the left for Drevich. Takes the return feed back to the captain, down to the near corner for Zabanet. He'll creep up to the high slot. He'll feed it right circle for a blast. Semptimphelter makes the save. Puck is loose. They try and wrap it in, but defended well. Les makes the great play. Keeps the puck to the perimeter. Now Rydell softly pitches it to Sullivan. Back to the line for Rydell. Drifting to his right. Surveys, delays. Zabanet back to Rydell. Semptimphelter turns it away. Puck to the trapezoid. Put it back up top. 40 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Zabanet from the left wing throws it across. Rydell grabs it from the right circle. Press to the high slot. Drevich drags it and shoots. Semptimphelter stops it, and oh, he robs it at the goal line! A showstopper from TJ Semptimphelter keeps it a tie game.
Yeah, it looked like Semptimphelter lost that one there for a minute, and then Ryan Sullivan right at the doorstep tries to chip that one over the shoulder of Semptimphelter, but a really quick reaction by Semptimphelter. He's able to snag that one in the glove as it's about to go over the goal line.
That's official. I'm going to call it a goaltending duel here tonight. Semptimphelter and Purpura, these two have put on a show. Face off to the left of Semptimphelter. Ghost Pirates win it at the line. Savannah feeds it left circle. They'll delay to Brodzinski. Down low, Wiebe shanks the shot, stays to the outside. 16 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Brodzinski, left circle. Down low to Wiebe. Back up top, Tellier fumbles, and the puck goes out the center.
Good break for the Gladiators there. Savannah has to reset in the neutral zone now.
First penalty killed. Driving towards the net is Tellier. Isley out of the box. He will join the play. Tellier from the left wing. 25 seconds left on the penalty to Cipollone. Ladles it to the line. Takes the return feed. Down low. They scan the slot. Nothing there. Defended well by Conroy. Puck jumps to the far wall. Pass inside. Broken up. Here's another chance. Shorthanded. Isley all alone. Score! Isley breaks the tie. Short-handed goal for Atlanta, and they lead 1-0 with 4:03 left in period 2.
What a play by Carson Denemy to break up that play in his own zone. And then Adam Isley with the recognition. He starts sprinting out of the zone, and Denemy just slides it right over to him. Isley has a lot of space to work with, and Denemy does a great job of just sticking to his lane and not allowing the back checker for Savannah to cut off Isley, allowing Isley to get that great opportunity and put it over the blocker to give Atlanta the lead.
Inject that Gladiators magic into my veins. This crowd is fired up. The Gladiators have the lead. It's 1-0 thanks to the shorty from Isley. So not only do they kill off the 5-on-3, they take the lead. Savannah looking to get it back, puts it to the line, and unable to hold the zone was Pearson. Wow. Nychuk powers to the neutral zone, trying to hit a pelt on the fly. Couldn't quite reel in the pass. Ghost Pirates take it up the ice. Koopman shrugged off by Nychuk. Nolan has a pelt streaking ahead. Barreling down the left wing, shot sticked away by Purpura. Available on the trapezoid, snatched by Granowitz. Gladiators get a couple of sticks on it, but Savannah is able to sweep it to center. Drop pass to Walsh. He'll enter on the right wing. Shadowed by Orr. He'll plug it below to the trapezoid. Now Carroll to the line. Zabanet, a shot that gets blocked. Wiebe turns and shoots. The rebound off a body went to Carroll, and he flubbed on the shot. 2:50 left in the second. Here comes Savannah once more. Drevich left circle, takes a shot. Semptimphelter the save. Rebound in the slot. Turns it away as well. Battle for it at the goal line, and it ends up going in the net. Savannah crashes the crease. The puck breaks through, and we're tied at 1 with 2:37 on the clock in the middle frame.
A lot of commotion in front of the Gladiators net there. As the shot comes in from the side, Semptimphelter makes the first save on the rebound, and then it's just absolute chaos in the crease. And eventually the puck ends up finding its way behind Felter.
So first it was Isley from Denemy, 15:57 into the second. And it appears it is Weeb who got the last touch on that puck to tie the game up at 1 with 2:37 left in period 2. And this game is just bananas. Puck goes to the slot once more. Felter gets a piece of it, and fisticuffs in front of the Gladiators netminder off of that save. We'll take a moment to step aside and let these two get reacquainted with each other. 2:26 to go in the second. We are back after this from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Adam Isley gave the Gladiators a 1-0 lead with 4:03 left in the second period to break the scoreless tie. Short-handed tally, the third goal of his pro career, made it 1-0 Gladiators, and they were buzzing, but Savannah storms back with 2:37 left in the period as Weeb scores, crashing the crease from Carroll and Drevich. Tie the game at 1, and that's where we sit right now. Sometimes good things come to those who wait. We waited a long time for the first goal in this game, and boy, was it worth it. Isley goals in back-to-back games. And now this game has really opened up a bit, and it's been entertaining to say the least. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, as well as Shelby Rabideau here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, on Flow Hockey, YouTube, and Peachtree Sports Network. Ghost Pirates on the hunt. Puck in the far corner of the Gladiators zone. Conroy is able to get a piece of it, float it to neutral ice. Walter looking that way, got a stick on it. Raises it by Carroll down to Purpura. And now Walter will stay out on the forecheck as the puck jumbles to neutral ice. Orzek dives through the neutral zone, plunges down the middle. Orzek to the goal, stopped by Purpura on a backhand chance. Second opportunity went to O'Brien. Purpura makes a glove save. Keep it a 1-1 tie with 1:36 left in period 2.
Yeah, nice take from Nolan Orzek there at the defenseman. Grabs that puck in the neutral zone and then weaves his way through a couple of Ghost Pirates. Puts a backhand on net, produces a rebound opportunity for Jack O'Brien. But again, Purpura making another nice save.
And we are into the final 2 minutes of the second period, which are known as Freddy's Frozen Minutes, where if the Gladiators score a goal in the final 2 minutes of the second period, everyone in attendance will receive one free mini custard at Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. We've seen crazier things in this game. As Savannah enters on the left wing, drops off to Koopman. He'll take a shot as Savannah flew by the net. Looking for the tip, didn't get it. Felter turned it away, and now it's available along the far wall. Savannah's lost a glove. He's going to stay out there. Stick handling across the line. Takes a shot. Blocked in front. Gladiators sweep it to center. Still without a glove. Savannah hoists it up the ice. It'll plop down to Nychuk. And the Gladiators outlet to the neutral zone. 54 seconds left in period 2. Puck to the end wall. Grega kicking at it. O'Brien probing and prodding, looking to get that puck away. Ghost Pirates able to escape the heat. As Rydell lobs it through the neutral zone. It'll go behind the net. Conroy will track it down. Less now, swoops to the left wing, angles off the glass and down to Purpura. And he will freeze with 23.1 on the clock in the second. Faceoff will be on the near circle. Faceoff on the near circle. Cipollone will take this against Grega. Off the draw, takes a shot. That goes wide of Purpura. At the left point, it is Conroy slugging it down the wall. Denomy's shot gets blocked. It'll go below the goal line. Lifted by Pearson, out to center. Laviolette deeks around Cipollone, sets up Grega down the middle, boxed out by Francis. And the period will come to a close. Well, still a scoreless game, but this time we've got a bit more to talk about. 1-1 after 2. Adam Isley gave the Gladiators the lead with a shorthanded goal from Carson Denomy with 4:03 left in the second period, but Savannah responded about a minute and a half later, making it a 1-1 tie as Jackson Weeb crashed the crease and got the tying goal to make it a 1-1 game after 40. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena, it is the second intermission report. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau. They'll break down the first 2 periods and look ahead to the third, as they'll also break down that Isley goal and what the Gladiators need to do to skate out of the building with a win. All that coming up on the other side, as it's Atlanta 1 and Savannah 1 after 2 periods of play.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that second period, but once again, we are tied here at Gas South Arena, but this time there's some scores on the board. It is 1-1. The Gladiators with 25 shots on goal and the Savannah Ghost Pirates with 23. So, Andrew, it was a little bit of another slow start to the second period, but things seemed to pick back up there at the end of the period. And, you know, there was a lot of specialty teams in that period there.
Yeah, you know, it kind of felt like that second period that we had against Greenville last night where, again, a little bit of a slow start to the period. Then as the period started to wind down, that's when the fireworks started. We had that last night where Greenville came out, scored the first goal with about 6 minutes left in the second, and the Gladiators were able to put in 2 before the end of the period to take a 2-1 lead into the third. And it's almost a similar story here tonight. Gladiators grab a goal with about 5 minutes left in the period, then Savannah comes right back and ties it up, and now we had tied once again into the third period.
And I want to talk a little bit about those power plays. You know, this was the third time you have 4-on-4 hockey. And is there an advantage to 4-on-4 hockey for any of the teams?
You know, if I had to say at 4-on-4, the advantage would probably be to Savannah, just with the way that they play. They play with a lot of speed and skill. So, you know, that more open ice, it seems to favor Savannah's play style a little bit, but obviously it hasn't really paid dividends here tonight as we've had many opportunities of 4-on-4 hockey. No one able to pot any at 4-on-4. So
All right, and I do have to bring up a short-handed goal by none other than Adam Isley. We've been talking about him for the last few games. So can you break down that goal for me?
Yeah, I think I picked Isley to score the first goal at the last intermission.
Wait, you did?
I think
yes,
I did.
You did. Did you pick correct the assist? I don't think
I did not. No, I picked O'Brien, but it was a great assist by Carson Denny. But it starts with a really great penalty kill by Atlanta. 5-on-3 kill. You know, it's a real turning point in the game, if you will. 5-on-3 kill, a lot of space out there for Savannah, and the Gladiators did a great job of killing it off. One guy who really stood out to me on that 5-on-3 was Brendan Less. He did a really good job keeping his stick in passing lanes, breaking up plays, chipping the puck out when he can. I thought Les was absolutely extraordinary on that kill along with all the other Gladiators out there. And then eventually they kill the first part of the 5-on-3, goes to 5-on-4, and Carson Denemy is able to grab the puck in his own end. He breaks up a play for Savannah, and he sees Adam Isley, which great recognition by Isley. He knew that Denemy had the puck, and he knew he had a lot of space to work with, so Isley just takes off. Denemy gives him a perfect pass in stride, and Isley from about the red line, center ice, had pretty much a breakaway all the way in, and he had a really hard back checker by Savannah coming back on him, but Denemy doing a really good job, recognizes that, and he just skates right down the middle of the ice, keeps his lane to not allow that Ghost Pirate to get to Isley. So a really good job by Denemy, and then Isley, with all the time in the world, he's able to slip that one upstairs on Purpura to give the Gladiators the early, well, not really early, I'll say. It was late in the second period, but gave them the lead for the time being. And I talked about a little bit in the first period, or the first intermission, how the Ghost Pirates play a little bit of riverboat hockey where they might push the offense a little bit too hard, and then it kind of hurts them on the defensive side of the puck. And we saw that, they had a lot of guys caught deep in the Gladiators zone, and the Gladiators were able to spring forward for that 2-on-0 between Denemy and Isley. And we saw that a little earlier in the period too, where Joey Cipollone and Isaac Walter had a 2-on-0 where they caught Savannah a little deep in their own zone, and Cipollone and Walter were able to spring themselves on a 2-on-0, not able to score on that one. Another great save by Purpura. But the Gladiators seem to be starting to take a little more advantage of the opportunities that Savannah is presenting them with.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up the fact that you talked about Brendan Less a little bit. I know that you've talked to me about him kind of, off camera. So talk to me about what you have been seeing from him in his game recently.
Yeah, he's just such a smart defenseman. He has such great recognition and awareness of everything going on around him. You don't really see him get caught out of position too much. He's just rock solid in his own zone. He makes a really good first pass out of the zone. Him and Conroy combined to make what I think is a very good defensive pair for the Gladiators. Those two guys seem to really work well together. And Les is just so sturdy on his side of the ice.
And unfortunately, we do have to talk about that goal by the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Can you talk me through that one? Yeah,
so it was a little breakdown in coverage for the Gladiators. Savannah Ghost Pirates able to come in from the left side, put a shot on goal. Semptimfelter makes the first save, kicks it out into the slot. Another opportunity comes in on net. He saves that one, and then it's just a mad scramble for the puck from there. Felt like we had almost all 10 guys on the ice just in the crease fight for that puck. The puck gets behind Semptimfelter. Cody Sylvester goes in. Looks like with his glove, he kind of scrapes it off the goal line and tries to push it out back into the slot, trying to save that. And it just ends up on the stick of Jackson Weeb for the Ghost Pirates, and he's able to put in that loose opportunity. So a tough break for the Gladiators. They were battling so hard out in front of that net, but Weeb just able to find that loose puck and tie the game up.
Yeah, and we still have another period of hockey to play, so there's a lot more action to come here. So before we head to the break and talk about what you want to see in that third period, I have a question for you and a question for the YouTube live chat. Again, it is Hockey is for Everyone here tonight, and I want to hit you again with another super generic, just overall rounded hockey question, and that is, we're bringing it back to movies today, people, and I promise I'm not going to pick a movie that has nothing to do with the sport this time, because there was not a lot of people defending my choice yesterday.
Not a lot of fans of the High School Musical choice last night.
So what is everyone's favorite hockey movie? I know there's a lot more options to pick with this one, so let us know in the YouTube live chat your favorite hockey movie. And once again, it is tied here at Gas South Arena 1-1. We will see you after the break.
More than just cookies.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All right, welcome back to Gas South Arena, everyone. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in this third period. But once again, it is tied here 1-1. The Gladiators have 25 shots on goal. Savannah Ghost Pirates have 23. Before we headed to that break, I asked everyone what their favorite hockey movie is. So let us know in the YouTube live chat, and we'll get to that right before we head back into break. So, Andrew, what do you want to see in this third period?
Yeah, I want to see the Gladiators keep on doing what they were doing in that second period. Really pumped up the shots on goal. Now we're sitting at 25-23. So what was that? Sorry, quick math. 17 shots on goal for the Gladiators in that second period. I thought they really pinned Savannah into their own zone for a lot of time in that second period. You know, it was a tough bounce for them that ended up in the back of their own net to allow Savannah to tie this one up. But a really good second period for the Gladiators. Not necessarily our second period surge on the scoreboard, but I feel like I say this a lot, more of a second period surge just in the play. I thought the Gladiators really got back to their game in that second period, and I think they can just really build on that.
And do you think it's important for the Gladiators to stay out of the box this period?
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, you don't want to be killing penalties for the next 20 minutes. You want to be able to play at 5-on-5 or draw a couple penalties, play at 5-on-4, because I think the Gladiators' power play has generated some pretty good opportunities tonight on Savannah's very good penalty kill. So if you can stay a man up or even for the rest of this game, it's going to play huge dividends for the Gladiators.
And real quick, before we talk about your favorite hockey movie, I did want to bring up the keys to the games again, because I was thinking about what you were saying when you were talking about Denemy and Isley earlier with that shorthanded goal, about playing connected.
Yeah.
And that is one of, I think, the most important things that the Gladiators can do and accomplish in their type of play is playing connected and really reading each other well and communicating. And I think when they do that, they play their best hockey.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You just hit the nail on the head there, Shelby. That play specifically, great recognition from Denemy to know that he had Isley jumping in again. On Isley, great recognition to know that Denemy had the puck, didn't have a lot of pressure on him, and he was going to be able to spring Isley for that breakaway. So exactly like you said, really seems like they started to play more connected in that second period.
Yeah, and hopefully we see more of that in the third period. And Andrew, what is your favorite hockey movie? Like, do you have a number one standout, or do you have kind of like a top three?
I feel like as kids, it's always Mighty Ducks for everyone. Everyone, when you're younger, it feels like Mighty Ducks is kind of the first hockey movie that young kids are exposed to. But with the U.S. men's and women's team winning the gold medal over in Italy earlier this year, it's kind of hard to not say Miracle.
It is a good one.
Miracle,
it really is a classic.
You know, I gotta say Miracle, definitely my favorite. Just such a good movie, such a quotable movie. You know, there are so many quotes that you can pull from those movies. I mean, I coach a youth team myself, and I find myself pulling some of the Herb Brooks quotes. Maybe when you're we call it a bag skate when you put him on the line and just make him skate, and he goes again.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. I remember one time
that's one of my favorites.
Sitting in for practice, and Coach actually made them do that one time for practice. And I don't know if it was like a punishment type of thing or if that's just something they do every practice.
Yeah, sometimes it's a punishment. Sometimes it's more of a conditioning thing.
Okay, all right. Well, mine is an interesting one. It's one that I remember growing up watching, but it's this movie. It's like I feel like when I talk about it, it's like, you ever have a movie that you're convinced no one has ever seen before except you? That's how I feel about this movie. But it's a movie called Go Figure, and it was on Disney Channel. It was a Disney Channel original movie about a girl who was a figure skater, but then she ends up kind of transitioning into being a hockey player at kind of like a boarding school type of situation, because she wanted to play under a specific coach, and the coach only did hockey instead of like figure skating.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I remember like I really, really enjoyed that movie growing up. So especially with like the theme of hockey is for everyone, and like how, you know, the women's Olympic team this year was incredible. So I want to throw one out there for the girls, and representation of women in hockey. And just recently they played in Detroit, and it was the first broadcast, like live broadcast game on television.
Wow.
And I thought that was really cool because the news station I used to work for was the one who broadcasted it.
That's awesome.
And hopefully they get more chances to be able to broadcast women's hockey in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, the women's game is really growing as of recently. Obviously, I think that the women winning the gold medal over in Milan is going to do absolutely huge things for women's hockey, which is awesome. But even the growth of the PWHL in the last couple of years, they're really starting to expand that league with a lot more teams. So, as you said, I think the growth of women's hockey recently has been really awesome to watch.
Yeah, let's see what the chat has to say.
We got a couple of good ones in the chat here. Let's see. Yep, Stadium Arena, Mighty Ducks. Noah coming in with a good one, Goon. Have you ever heard of Goon?
I have, but I've actually never seen it.
Really? Yeah. It's a little bit, I'll say, raunchier for the younger viewers.
I figured.
But no, that is a very funny movie if you are of age. I'll say, it's about this.
Check the rating first.
I think it's probably rated R, but very, very funny movie. It's about this. I believe he was a bouncer at a bar, and he ends up trying out for this hockey team, and they bring him in to protect their superstar Xavier Laflamme.
Okay.
So they bring in Doug Glatt, and he's the pure definition of a goon. Like, he can't skate, and he's just purely out there to fight. And then it's kind of funny. He actually ends up kind of turning into a pretty decent hockey player. It's just a pretty good. It's a funny.
Yeah. Add it
hockey
to my
movie.
list.
Yes, definitely.
There's this TV show that's it's like a comedy show. And it's like a sitcom type of show, and I feel like my hairdresser has always told me to watch it.
It's a hockey?
It's a hockey, yeah. It's like a...
Well, they did recently come out with a Mighty Ducks TV show.
It's like I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's on Hulu or something, but it's more...
Oh, is it Shoresy?
It might be?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm talking about?
It might be Shoresy, yeah.
Okay.
If we're talking hockey shows, Shoresy, Letterkenny...
Letterkenny. Letterkenny is the one she always tells me to watch.
Yeah, Letterkenny's a very good
is
one.
It
and
good?
Then, so Shoresy was kind of a spin-off off of Letterkenny, where they took one of the figures from Letterkenny and kind of gave him his own spin-off show.
Yeah, she's told me to watch Letterkenny.
Oh yeah, those are so good.
I knew we would get the name.
Yeah.
I just had to talk about it.
Yeah. I believe the main actor, Jared Kiso, he's so funny. He's so good. Canadian guy. He plays Wayne, the main character in Letterkenny, but he also plays Shoresy.
Okay.
So he's a very talented actor, very, very funny.
Nice.
So a lot of good hockey media.
And you know what? When we, before I asked this question, I hadn't realized that actually there's an extensive list of hockey.
Yeah, there really is. Mighty
shows.
Ducks, Miracle, Youngblood. Let's see, we had a couple more in here. What did I see? I saw another one in here. Mystery Alaska, Goon 2. A lot of really good hockey movies and TV shows.
And maybe some of our audience will add that to their watch list. But it looks like those Gladiators are heading back to their ice right now. And once again, it is tied here 1-1. Guy will be joining Andrew to talk about the third period when we come back.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Through 40 minutes of play, these two rivals are tied. 1-1 the score here at Gas South Arena. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Andrew, it would not be a Gladiators game if it did not go right down to the wire.
Nope.
Last night was the same story. Gladiators lost that game 3-2. Tonight seemed like this story trending in the same direction. What can we expect out of these Gladiators here in the third?
Yeah, it felt like maybe a little bit of a slower start to the first period. Really picked it up in the second, and I'm just expecting both teams to really build on this, and I think we might see some more fireworks in this third period.
That fountain of youth line has been incredible for the Gladiators over the last handful of games. Kirkland Irie, Jack O'Brien, Adam Isley, they are on the ice to start the third period of play. Gladiators this season win tied after 2 periods, hold a record of 9-4-0-1. Savannah in such instances have a record of 8-3-2-1. South Carolina defeated Greenville earlier today, which means that the Gladiators need a win to stay within 1 point of second in the division. O'Brien charges down the left wing, takes a shot, goes wide of Purpura. Held in the zone for a moment by Les, but now streaking to the neutral zone is Koopman. Over the red line, lifts it to the near corner. Les is there to cast it to the right wing. It's met by the stick of Rydell. Sputters inside and makes its way to Septenfelter. Makes the stop, and we get a whistle just 31 seconds in.
Yeah, quick whistle there from the referee. It looked like that puck was still loose in front of Septenfelter. Brennan Les picked it up and was rounding the net with a lot of speed, looking to push the offense, but referee blows the whistle. Face-off will stay in the Gladiators zone.
It looks like they will get a change of personnel as well, as the kid line, as you call them, heads off to the bench. Although I don't know if we can call that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 24. I mean, we're both pretty young guys, like about the same age as some of these guys. So I'm not sure if that one will stick, but maybe we might leave it up to our YouTube live chat to come up with a name for this fantastic second line for the Gladiators. And Andrew and I have been talking off the air. We think we might hold a contest for Commenter of the Year on our YouTube live chat. We don't let that chat go unnoticed. So make sure you get your quips in before the season ends.
The race is alive and well for Commenter of the Year.
Puck available in the neutral zone. Nychuk has it. He'll brush it to Orzek. And now outlet to the neutral zone for Sylvester. Off the near sideboards, Walter into action. Tries to catch up to it in the trapezoid, but Rydell able to feed it away. Holding the zone is Orzek. Returns it to Walter. Centers looking to go back to Orzek. That's gets cut off and intercepted by Weeb. Charged down the left wing, put a backhand shot wide of Septenfelter. Tries to get his own rebound along the near side wall. Puck sputters to the line. Cesada drifting towards his left between the legs. Leaves it for Zabanet, but that puck out of the zone. Lugged back in. Offside on Savannah. 1:24 into the third. And so I'm interested to see, Andrew, how both of these two teams approach this third period, because once Isley scored that shorthanded goal, the floodgates were open, it seemed, at the end of that second period. Both teams going back and forth. But now here at the start of the third, I'm interested to see if both teams kind of sit back into that defensive structure that we saw in the first period, playing not to lose, or if one team becomes more aggressive than the other, and this thing kind of blows open like it did towards the end of the second.
Yeah, well, I feel like Savannah's definitely going to try and push the offense because, that's more their game. They like to play with a lot of speed and utilize their skills. So I don't think Savannah's going to be sitting back in this third period.
Both teams have a lot to play for here tonight as Francis spins at the right point. Puck is chucked out to center by Savannah. Gladiators again looking to pull within 1 point of second in the division. Now currently held by South Carolina, who has 90 points to the Gladiators' 87. Or at the right point, fakes a shot. Now tries to take one, flubs off his stick, is able to get it off to Gaudette. Now Cipollone along the left wing leaves it for Francis. Taken to the wall by Chukarov. Veteran defenseman, unable to take it away the first time, and on the second opportunity is able to plug it up the ice for Cesana, and he will just float it into the near corner. And now for Savannah, they are 6 points ahead of Greenville for the final playoff spot in the South. Greenville lost to South Carolina today, so Savannah gets a little bit of help there. Now they're trying to boost that gap to 8 if they can beat the Gladiators here tonight. That is what is at stake between both of these two teams tonight. Scardina, slippery, gets away from the forecheck of the Ghost Pirates. Gladiators exit their own end as Denemy softly leaves it into the Savannah territory. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Laviolette from the far corner scoops it to the neutral zone, has enough steam for an icing, and it will be. And now we've got a fight behind the play. Laviolette and a pelt. Wasted no time. Riley looking to get a shot in. Laviolette misses. He gets taken down. You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Riley Appelt gets the last laugh. It's a standing ovation from the crowd here at Gas South Arena. Are you not entertained?
Yep, felt like that one would have been brewing for a while. Obviously, Savannah wasn't happy with Appelt after the last game in Savannah, which led to Appelt getting suspended for 3 games. Thought we might have seen the gloves drop a little bit earlier for Appelt tonight, but we get it in this third period and a good scrap between those two guys.
You know, oftentimes we talk about Riley Appelt, we talk about the blows that he lands. On that fight, it was about the shots that he dodged. Peter Laviolette trying to pop him square in the draw, and Riley Appelt able to maneuver away and then get Laviolette off balance and take him down. So it'll be 5-5 for both. And boy, Riley Appelt has been fun to watch. Seems like when he's injected into the lineup, he gives the Gladiators a little bit of flavor to their game. And it looks like he is going off to the Gladiators' locker room.
Yeah, he might need some repairs.
He's fiddling around with that bucket in the box, and so he's got some time. Ben Ellis, the equipment manager, is going to take care of that. Meanwhile, Laviolette taking his jersey off. 5-minute breather for him. Face off on the near circle of the Savannah zone. O'Brien will take this draw against Grega and win it. At the left point, it's Conroy for a shot off the stick of Purpura and into the far wall. Puck chipped to center. Savannah just spurts it out of that area. Trying to escape this Gladiators forecheck. Guess which line's on the ice right now? It's that second line. Cruising down the left wing, shot taken by Koopman, fought off by Semptimfelter. Puck drifts out to center. And now officially this game has had a little bit of everything. Shorthanded goal, a fight. What else is left in store? O'Brien up ice to Isley. Skates back out of the pressure, set up by Savannah in the neutral zone. Now Conroy over the red line, hurls it into the near corner. Gladiators execute a wholesale change as the Ghost Pirates enter on the right side. Puck bounces to Koopman, pulls up in the corner. Is able to slip away from Young, and his pocket is picked. Alex Young gets it back. Slots it to the neutral zone where it's reeled in by Pearson. Pass to the left wing, hits the skate of Zabanet and goes in. Weeb out of the far corner. Tries to launch a pass inside. Gladiators wipe it off his stick. Developing 3-on-3. Young, left wing, takes a shot, but bounces between the circles. Sylvester couldn't get a piece of it. Now Nychuk will grab it in the far corner. Shrugs off Weeb, centers for a shot. Save made by Purpura. Puck pinballs to the high slot. Sylvester dekes on in. Looks to delay for a trailer to Young, but that pass picked off by Drevich. Gladiators get it back off an errant feed from the Savannah captain. They just lob it in for a clear 5 minutes into the third. Brodzinski off the left wing wall to himself. Launches it from corner to corner. On the near side is Sullivan. Wrapping it down to the far corner for Brodzinski. Scanning the interior, throws it that way. Puck is hauled in by Cipollone. And he's unable to clear the zone. Held in by Sullivan. Has a man behind the net. It's Tellier. Or shadowing him as the pass goes to the high slot. Bouncing Shukurov off the puck with Cipollone. He'll drag it in on the left side. Tries to find Francis in the slot. That puck spurt back to the perimeter. Now along the far corner wall, Denemy tried to move it from low to high. That pass got picked off. 14-12 left in the third. Gladiators dump the puck in once more and get another change. Looks like Savannah's going to do the same as they wait behind their own net. Leading the charge is Chukarov. Tried to stretch it up the ice, hit a skate, and goes behind the net. Icing on the Ghost Pirates. 6:07 in. It's an offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators. And they'll send out the fourth line of Scardina. Nolan, and taking the place of Appel is Young. Off that draw, Savannah has it. Nas from his own goal line, churns up ice. Loses the puck, turnover to Young, tries to center, pinballs to Les, he'll fire, blocked in front, Herpera sprawls out and mops up the puck to make the save.
Got a penalty here too.
We've seen some bizarre stuff in this game, and that is the latest. Looks like Ethan Scardina off to the box. Interference with 13:35 left in the third. Gladiators to the penalty kill when we return.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gladiators to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill with Ethan Scardina in the box. 2 minutes for interference.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. Scardina battling for a puck out front, and he lifted the stick of the Ghost Pirate, and the Ghost Pirate just lost the stick. I don't necessarily agree with interference, but nonetheless, Gladiators to the kill.
Gladiators 3 for 3 on the kill so far tonight. They will look to go 4 for 4. Savannah wins the draw. Rydell drifting across the line. Hanging on to the left point. Feeds it to the right for Drevich. Scan the inside. Nothing happening there, so they rotate to the left wing. Now a shot from the line, and they score. Screen in front. Hits the back of the net. And the Ghost Pirates, with a power play goal, have taken a 2-1 lead. Might have hit a Monty on the way. He'll skate to the bench first. Savannah with its first lead of the night.
Yeah, it's a nice setup there by the Ghost Pirates. They work it up top to Rydell for the one-timer to Monty. Stationed out front, able to get a tip on that puck and tip it right over the shoulder of Sentumfelter to give Savannah their first lead of the night.
Now the question is what will be the response from these Gladiators? Gonna have to see something here. Now just 13:21 left in regulation and trailing for the first time tonight. Savannah sends it to the Gladiator end wall. Grabbed by Young, he'll chuck it to center. On the run is Walter. Puck spat back, glove down by Walsh. Cesano will lead it to the left wing. Cross-ice pass, taken away by Walter. Has Young up the ice. Tried to find her a no-look pass to Sylvester down the middle. Savannah sniffs it out. Gladiators create another turnover. Sylvester dancing down the left wing, leaves it for Young. From the left wing, cuts to the slot. Puck bounces off his stick to the right wing wall. Has Walter in the corner. Tried to plug it to Sylvester. Those Pirates get a piece of it, as now Chukarov shimmies it up the near boards. Nychuk activates from the line, keeps this play alive. They'll spar for it in the near corner. Puck goes to the slot. Only man there was Koopman, and Savannah will skate it out of danger. Koopman shuffles his way to the Gladiator end wall. Carroll collects in the near corner. Tries to chip it across. Centering feed hits the back of the leg of Young. Jumps to Orr. He'll clank it off the near glass, but not out. Second attempt to clear is successful. Drevich grabs it at the line. Leads it over to Nas, who fires off the end wall on a dump in. Savannah continues to press from the left corner to the right. Zabanet Up to the line, Carroll surfs across, finds Zabanet. They'll maneuver to the left point, spin away from coverage, pass it to the left circle off the stick of Weeb. Below the trapezoid, they will fire up to the near wall where it's grabbed by Drevich. They'll pivot and ladle it deeper. Weeb cross-checks, or that's a penalty, and the Gladiators are going back to the Eco-Electric power play. They're going to have a chance to tie this game here with Weeb headed off to the box.
Another chance for this Gladiators power play. We've said all night, Savannah very good on the penalty kill, but I feel like the Gladiators have still been able to generate a couple of decent opportunities. And they're going to have a big one here with a chance to tie this game back up.
The Gladiators are 26-6 when scoring a power play goal this season. Last night was one of the 6 instances this season in which they lost when scoring a power play goal. Tonight, they only have a shorthanded goal, which, by the way, was their 11th of the season. That's tied for second most in the ECHL, trailing only Toledo, and their 6th shorthanded goal at home this year. Also tied for second in the league behind Toledo, who seem to be the masters of scoring shorthanded goals this year. That silver medal right now belongs to the Gladiators. Young at the right wing sets up the start of the power play. Nychuk to Young. Right circle shot, off a stick and out of play.
Yeah, really good stick there by Pearson. Young walking in, trying to take that shot, but Pearson, really good job keeping his stick in the lane. Able to get in the way of that one and just tips it out of play.
And so this, the Gladiators' 5th power play chance of the game. So far 0 for 4, but I usually say 3rd time's the charm, but maybe it's the 5th. They win the draw, Nychuk surfs the line, feeds it right circle for O'Brien. Down low is Sylvester. Puck chips off his stick. Scrambles to keep it. Finds O'Brien in the far corner. Trying to return it to Sylvester. He immediately gets mobbed by a swarm of Ghost Pirates. They will drag it out to center. Ranowitz doing a little bit more. Taken off the puck by O'Brien in Gladiator ice. The 40 seconds gone by on this power play. Errant pass, Nychuk tried to drop that off. More time dwindles down. Young carries out to the neutral zone. Tries to brush it right wing, and it's intercepted by Grega. Up ice with Zabanet. He'll cut to the net, feather it across. Hits a stick and goes to Septenfelter. He'll keep the play alive. Gladiators have numbers up the ice. Pass to the left wing from Sylvester. Off target to Isley. And the Ghost Pirates will clear. Oh, you got to think they would have had a chance there, but that pass offline, free clear for Savannah. 43 seconds left on the penalty to Weeb. Second unit making their way on. Cipollone from the right wing, twiddles it to the left. Walter has a glance off his stick, and Savannah will clear. Les swoops out from behind Septenfelter. 24 seconds left on the power play. Irie over his own blue line. Pass to the left wing on time for Conroy. Around the horn to the far corner. Remet by Irie. And now another errant pass to the line. Walter pass to no one. It escapes the zone, and another turnover here on the retrieval. And that will end the Eco-Electric power play.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. One of the keys to the game was to play connected, and right there on that power play, Gladiators really weren't connected. A lot of errant passes.
So it's still a 2-1 Savannah lead, now down to 9:12 left in the third. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Gaudette has it. Tries to slide it to Denemy on the near side, and another offline pass. Savannah has the puck. Tellier sweeps it to the right wing for Brodzinski. Pass to the high slot, taken away by Denemy and twisted out to center. Savannah pummels the puck around the boards to the far wall. Gaudette reels it in, able to escape the pressure from Tellier. Gladiators turn it over in the high slot as Sullivan shoots, blocked by Gaudette. Puck goes to the near corner. Centered again for Sullivan, leapt off his stick. Gladiators will drag it and haul it to the neutral zone. So Gaudette pressured by Sullivan. He will skate away for number 14 in white. Tap it to center circle where Savannah gets it back. And now the Ghost Pirates send the puck in deep. Isley in the neutral zone takes the stretch pass in, met by Savannah. Puck is wrestled away. It'll drift to the far wall where it is snatched up by O'Brien. Now pass to the neutral zone, did not hit the intended target. Icing on Atlanta with 7:52 to play. Looked like Isley had his stick lifted there, which led to the icing.
Yep.
And Isley trying to protest that call, but this faceoff will be near TJ Semptimphelter.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy for the Gladiators these last couple of minutes, and it kind of started with that power play, just not able to find each other there. Got to clean it up if they're hoping to tie this one up.
Face-off to the right of Semptimphelter. O'Brien will take this against Zabade. Gladiators take it up ice, developing 3-on-3. Pass to the right wing goes away from Isley. Tries to catch up to it at the end wall. Pinned up there by Weeb. Isley staying with it, trying to peel it off the wall. And this play has slogged down to a crawl. Puck does eventually leak free. Ghost Pirates able to weave their way to center. The Gladiators get the puck back. O'Brien has it over center circle, driving down the left wing, takes a short side shot, that goes wide. Now Sylvester puts it to the line, Les to Conroy, staring down the netminder, takes a shot, screen in front, puck leaks free from the right wing. Les will stash it below the goal line. Walter met by Grega, under 7 minutes to play. Out of the far corner, Sylvester behind the net, gives it to O'Brien. He'll sweep it from corner to corner to the near side. Pinching from the line is Conroy. Gets a piece of it, trying to knock it to Walter. He'll go back to Conroy. He'll put it up top. Sylvester point to point for Les. He'll angle off the end wall, away from O'Brien, and Savannah will hoist it to center. And the Gladiators are able to haul it back in. That unit gassed. They'll go down for a change. Meanwhile, Lamonti has some room, fakes a shot, cuts in tight. Semptimphelter's able to get a stick on it, and the Gladiators escape. Francis barrels down the right wing, fakes a shot. Delayed penalty here on Savannah. Semptimphelter to the bench. Gaudette from the left wing. Chips it to the near corner. Pass from low to high, hits a stick, jumbles to Orr. He'll take a shot just a bit outside. Savannah touches up on the rebound. Gladiators will go to the Eco-Electric power play for the 6th time tonight with 5:58 left in the third. And with Savannah leading 2-1, feels like they need to make this one count.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gladiators to the Eco-Electric power play for the 6th time tonight. Andrew, one of the keys to the game coming to the game from head coach Matt Ginn was to play connected. We did not see that at all on the Gladiators' last power play. What do they need to change here on this latest try?
Yeah, I think it's really just all about communication and being able to enter the zone cleanly. Savannah did a really good job of denying clean zone entries for the Gladiators, where they had to chip the puck in, and then Savannah was winning those foot races to those loose pucks. So for the Gladiators, it's just cleaning up their zone entries, I feel like.
Nychuk at the right point, takes a shot. That whistles wide on the near side. Sylvester from the trapezoid turns to his forehand, sets up a man on the right wing. It's Young. Ladled inside. Nychuk a drive. That goes wide as well. Rydell in the box, 2 for hooking. Nychuk keeps the play alive at the right point. Feeds it left wing for Isley. Back to Nychuk. He'll feed it right wing for a shot, and Purpura's got that as well.
Yeah, nice setup there by the Gladiators. Isley on that left side. There's a nice little saucer pass up top to Nychuk. Nychuk fakes the shot, drawing a couple of defenders to him, and then slides it over to O'Brien for that one-timer with Sylvester right in the crease of Purpura. But Purpura, again, able to see that one right into the glove. Nice save.
Face off on the far circle. It'll be Young against Grega. And the Gladiators have it off the draw, poke to the line, and bullying his way to center is Zabanet. Gladiators are able to fish the puck back. O'Brien tripped up, and the Gladiators are going to have a prime chance to tie this game. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Absolutely huge opportunity for the Gladiators here to tie this one up. Looks like it was Grega there. A little too aggressive with the stick on the power play. Hacks down O'Brien, was able to draw the penalty. We saw a 5-on-3 power play for Savannah earlier in the game. That felt like was a really big momentum swing for the Gladiators, where they were eventually able to score shorthanded on the Isley goal.
And Matt Ginn has called his timeout here. Remember, the first power play unit on the ice already for 45 seconds to start the previous power play, so he's going to get this timeout called here to give them a bit of a rest and draw up a play as well. As Zach Fennell, the assistant coach, who runs the power play, out there with the whiteboard now. And so he will give the orders, and we'll see if this power play can execute. Last time these two teams met in Savannah, the Gladiators scored 3 power play goals, tied a season high. Now they're looking for just 1 to tie the game. It was a scoreless first period. Looked like we might be headed that same direction towards the end of the second, but Adam Isley scores a shorthanded goal with 4:03 left in the middle frame to make it a 1-0 Gladiator lead. Savannah then got the next 2. It was about a minute and a half later. It was Weeb crashing the crease and scoring for Savannah to make it 1-1, and then here in the third, on the power play, Amonte broke the tie to make it 2-1. And that is where we sit right now. But, as we mentioned, Gladiators on a 5-on-3 power play for the next minute and 15 seconds have a chance to tie the game, and if they play their cards right, take the lead. So Grega in the box for tripping as the Gladiators on this 2-man advantage. Off the face-off, puck drifts to the left wing, and it's a turnover up the ice. Susanna has some separation. He'll cut to the goal. Septenfelter saves the day. Puck is swept out of danger. Sylvester takes it up the ice, down the left wing, pulls up a bit, feeds it right wing, back inside for a shot, saved by Purpura on Nychuk. Now at the right point, it is Young. Left for Nychuk, he will shoot, backdoor Sylvester, robbed, couldn't find a way to punch it in. 38 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Nychuk tried to send it towards the goal, but Susanna got a stick on it. Now O'Brien creeps down the right wing wall. Pulls up, finds Nychuk, back to O'Brien. His drive eaten up by Purpura. 4:24 left in regulation, 26 seconds on the 5-on-3.
Yeah, great job by Susanna there for Savannah. Nychuk up top, looking to set up Sylvester for that chip-in back door. He almost gets it to him the first time. A really nice save by Purpura. They go back to it again, and that time Susanna recognizes what Nychuk's trying to do, and he's able to get his stick in the lane and break up that play.
Face-off on the far circle. Young against Zabanet. Young wins it to Sylvester. Led to the line. Nychuk from the left wing has some space. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. He will hold. He will shoot. Save Purpura. They crash the crease. And it will not go. Whistle blown. 13 seconds left on the 5-on-3. 4:10 in regulation. So if the Gladiators do not score on the 5-on-3, they will have 45 seconds worth of 5-on-4 power play time. And if they don't get the job done on that, they'll have about 3 minutes left in regulation to try and tie this game up. Face off on the near circle. O'Brien loses the draw to Walsh. Puck floats over the glove of Young. Did his best to try and keep that in, but he's a hockey player, not a baseball player. And that puck goes out to the neutral zone, and the first penalty expires. Gladiators right back in. Sylvester right point takes a shot, tipped in front, jumbles back door, and O'Brien tied up, couldn't get a shot away. They'll send it up high. Nychuk to Young, back to the slot. Sylvester tries to make his way to the goal. Puck leaks to the right wing. Young grabs it, put up top. Nychuk, left circle, Cipollone drive. That gets blocked. Young right circle. He will hold. 18 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Sylvester to the slot, broken up and cleared out of play. With 11 seconds left on the power play. I believe that faceoff should be in the Savannah zone as Young gets wrapped up and hauled down well after the whistle. And a friendly reminder, these two teams will meet again right back in this building on Tuesday night. 7:10 puck drop, 6:50 pregame show here in the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Get your tickets at atlantagladiators.com, as this is one that you are not going to want to miss. And it doesn't appear like there's going to be any penalties called on that last sequence. So it remains 5-on-4 for Atlanta for the next 11 seconds. And they will trot out Les, Isley, Irie, Walter, and Conroy. Looks like Irie, the rookie, playing in just his 6th pro game, will take this face-off against Walsh. Face-off won by the Ghost Pirates. They'll slug it up the near wall. Isley can't keep it alive, and that will do it for the second penalty. So the Gladiators had a 5-on-3 man advantage for 75 seconds. Came up empty-handed. Irie blazing down the left wing wall, pulls up, puts it behind the net. Walter is there. He'll make his way to the far corner, sidesteps a check from Walsh. Puck will be pounded to the near boards. It'll drift out to center. 2:50 to play. Keep an eye on Semptimfelter here. Gladiators will look to get the puck in deep, get some possession going, and so they can pull the netminder for an extra attacker. 2-1 Savannah leads. 2:35 on the clock. Puck deep in Atlanta territory off a Savannah dump-in. Francis lead the charge for the Gladiators. He'll skate over his own blue line. Pass it to the left wing for Nychuk. A little give and go. Getting in front of that was Carroll. Almost turned it over to Francis, who is strong on the forecheck, but Savannah is able to bombard it out to center. Fans taking up a Let's Go Glad chant, trying to will their team to victory. Puck will drift to the near corner. Nychuk gets a stick on it. Savannah does as well as Zabanet skates away. And the Ghost Pirates press through center. They'll chip it to the left wing. Shukurov over skates. Orzek gets a stick on it in the far corner of the Gladiator zone. He'll chip it to his teammate Francis. Take the return feed. Nip it behind the net to Nychuk and take it back up ice. And over center red. Feels some contact in front of the Savannah bench. That squashes him off the puck. Down to 1 minute and 32 seconds left in regulation. Koopman behind the net makes his way to the far wall. Reverses to the near corner. We're snagged by Conroy. Gladiators running out of time. 1:17 left in the third. Orzek chips it up the ice off the stick of Sylvester and in. Sylvester between, or excuse me, Semptimfelter between the circles. Looking up ice. Not going to go. 1 minute left. Savannah drags it out to center. will dispose of it deep into Gladiator ice. Semptimphelter comes out to play it, hurls it to his right. Walter has Young up the ice, and there goes Semptimphelter. Off to the bench, extra attacker is on. Isley joins the play. Puck is spat out to center. 40 seconds on the clock. Nychuk has it. Gladiators need to enter the offensive zone. Nychuk will lead that charge. Feathers it to the right wing. Gladiators having some trouble here. Hits a body. Jumbles to center. 25 seconds to go. They'll push the puck in deep, and it's an icing with 23 seconds to go.
Yep, face-off going to come back into the Gladiators' end here. Semptimphelter going to have to go back in his net. Looked like Alex Young there from behind the red line was trying to put that one on net to make Purpura have to play it. Instead, from behind the red line, he just misses the net, and it goes down for an icing.
Face-off will be to the right of Semptimphelter. 23 seconds to go. Gladiators have outshot the Ghost Pirates 36-29, but Savannah holds a 2-1 lead. The go-ahead goal belongs to Tristan Amante. Gladiators up the ice. Puck jumbles to center. They can't get a good grasp on it. Semptimphelter to the bench, 10 seconds to go. O'Brien along the near side boards, gets pinned up. Puck leaks free. Young a shot through traffic. It whistles wide. Right wing wall. Isley pinned up. Clock froze for a second, but it will drain out. And the Ghost Pirates will survive. Savannah keeps a firm grasp on the fourth and final playoff spot in the division. They were able to outlast the Atlanta Gladiators by the final score of 2-1. And now Savannah up to 68 points on the season with Greenville's loss to South Carolina today. Savannah now has an 8-point gap between being on the inside of the playoff picture and out of it. For the Gladiators, because of the Stingrays' win tonight, South Carolina now up to 90 points. Atlanta still stuck at 87. And second place belongs to the Stingrays, and the Stingrays alone. Gladiators are stuck in third. It's now a 3-game losing skid for the Gladiators, ties their longest of the season. They look to bounce back on Tuesday night as they meet these Ghost Pirates in the rematch. For those of you watching on Peachtree Sports Network, thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. Hope to see you back again on Tuesday night on Flow Hockey and YouTube. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long. Post-game coverage here on Flow Hockey and YouTube continues. Tough loss for the Gladiators on back-to-back nights, Andrew. Another loss by 1 goal. Uncharacteristic of these Gladiators. They now drop to 18-8, 2-1. 1-goal games this year.
Yeah, and you know, it almost kind of falls on the power play. You had a couple of grade A opportunities down 1 on the power play, especially the 5-on-3 late, where you weren't able to capitalize on your power play opportunities. Looks like if the Gladiators want to make some noise in the playoffs, they're really going to have to figure it out on the power play.
Gladiators end up going 0 for 7 on the power play in this loss. Not a good night for the Eco Electric power play. Here's how it all broke out. Scoreless first period, nothing new there. It is the 18th time this season that the Gladiators have been featured in a first period that ends in a scoreless tie. It's the 35th time this season the Gladiators have been held without a first period goal, but the second period is where they make their money, Andrew, and that's when they strike. Shorthanded goal from Adam Isley. Scores from Carson Denemy, playing in his 300th pro game. The vet to the rookie to the back of the net. Gladiators have a 1-0 lead with 4:03 left in the second. But Savannah saw that and responded. About a minute and a half later, they get a goal from Jackson Weeb. Ghost Pirates just crashed the crease. Good things happen for them, and they are able to pump the puck in and make it a 1-1 tie by the end of the second. We head to the third, and the only goal scored in period 3 ends up being the game winner. Long shot from the line from Will Rydell. Links off the stick of Tristan Amante on its way towards the net. It tickles the twine, and that is it. The Gladiators do not come back from that, although, Andrew, they did have an opportunity on a 5-on-3 power play for 75 seconds, and they come up empty-handed. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying about this power play.
Yeah, I thought they probably generated a couple of good opportunities on the power play, but Vinny Papura, goaltender for Savannah, made some absolute grade A saves towards the end of that game to propel the Ghost Pirates to the win there.
And it was a win that Savannah needed badly, and Atlanta needed it desperately as well. And now, down to just 5 games in their season, Gladiators do still have a game on the Stingrays. South Carolina down to just 4 games in their season. But, Andrew, this Gladiators team has to figure it out quick. Otherwise, game 1 is going to be at North Charleston Coliseum.
Yeah, I really liked the Gladiators game at 5-on-5 tonight. I thought they played a pretty good 5-on-5 game, especially in the second and third period. Generated some good opportunities, but when you get 7 chances on the power play in a huge game like this, it feels like you just got to be able to at least get 1. But nonetheless, tough loss for the Gladiators and just an outstanding game for Purpura, backstopping the Ghost Pirates. Savannah
wins the special teams battle, going 1 for 4 on the power play. Gladiators go 0 for 7 on the man advantage. Tristan Amontes, your first star of the game. He got the game-winning goal. Adam Isley with the shorthanded tally is your second star. Your third star, as you mentioned, Vinny Purpura, really helped Savannah to this victory. He stops 35 of 36 for the Ghost Pirates. And so here's what it all means. The big game here earlier today was South Carolina defeating Greenville. The Stingrays take down the Swamp Rabbits by the final score of 5-3, which again means that second place belongs to South Carolina alone with 90 points. Gladiators 3 points back at 87 as they fall to 42, 22, 2-1. But the other big news is that Florida loses to Jacksonville in overtime, which normally would be a good thing, but Florida picks up a point tonight. The Gladiators' ceiling, because of this loss, drops. Florida's ceiling goes up by 1, and that now means, Andrew, that no matter what, we do know that the Gladiators will be playing the South Carolina Stingrays in round 1 of the 2026 Kelly Cup playoffs.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting matchup. A lot of hard battles between those two teams this season. And, I'm excited for playoff hockey. I don't know about you, Guy, but best time of year, playoff hockey, 2 teams who have fought really hard all year against each other. A lot of back-and-forth battles between Atlanta and South Carolina, and I'm excited to get going in the playoffs.
It has been a long time. These fans have been waiting seemingly forever to see a playoff game in this building. It's been 8 years since we had a playoff game here at Gas South Arena. The last time the Gladiators made it in the 21-22 season, all 4 games were in Jacksonville as this building was unavailable. Gladiators got swept by the Icemen in the first round of the 2022 playoffs. So now the question is will Game 1 be at Gas South Arena, or will it be at North Charleston Coliseum? That will be what we will try and figure out here down the stretch. 5 games to go. We'll hope to see you back again on Tuesday night when the Gladiators host the Ghost Pirates in the rematch of the Battle of Georgia. 7:10 puck drop, 6:50 pregame show. For Andrew Fleming. Sorry, dude, we've been doing this for so many. I should do that. I talked about Adam Isley all night long. Got stuck with the Adams. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long, and thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. Hope to see you back